And welcome to another episode of the Say to Boot First podcast, brought to you live from the lovely downtown Willow Grove, the Crack Bell Production Studios. Did I get it all? Thursday evening.
Did you say beautiful downtown?
I did say beautiful downtown Willow Grove.
Yes.
Crack Bell Production Studios.
Yep.
All right. Sponsored, as always,
get the sponsors
by
in.
InsurePhilly.com. Up to 10 quotes in about 10 minutes. The NPM agency. Give Matt Maloney a call for all your insurance needs. And powered by Pops McCann's Fine Irish Whiskey. Jason Fogg, you need some new stuff? Give Jason a call. He's got 4 more American-style whiskeys and bourbons. Check him out on Facebook. Deliver it right to your house for you.
Delicious stuff.
Delicious stuff.
100 proof that doesn't come close to tasting like it. It's so smooth.
Very good. Very good stuff. I like the bourbon. I see. I'm off a week and I lose my whole cadence.
Wow.
You know, but these guys were going to hear last week, holding it down. A lot to talk about last week. One of the topics was head coach, and today we have an answer to that.
Yeah.
So this is one of your co-pilots, Jim Marcus. To my right, I got not wearing the team uniform for those of you that are watching.
He didn't get the memo
on Facebook Live. DJ Martin. What's going on, DJ?
What's up? Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. To his right, the elder statesman, Mr. Deke Martin.
Hello there.
Deke, how are you, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Fantastic. And then to his right, just chilling, just relaxing, Andrew. Andrew Martin. What's going on, Andrew?
What's going on?
What's up? And behind the glass,
dude, figure out the mic.
I'm trying. All right.
We got Bob behind the glass. What's going on, Bob?
What's up,
Good
guys?
evening.
Good evening. A lot to talk about.
There is plenty to talk about. We have a new head coach here in Philadelphia for our Philadelphia Eagles, Nick Sirianni.
Oh, got it right the first try.
Hey, you know, I might have said it in the mirror a few times. And just, practiced it a little bit.
I was going to ask you, is there a vowel at the end of your name?
No, but I know quite a few.
Okay.
Quite a few friends that have the vowels at the end of the name. But it's going to be one of those names that this city just butchers. Like every other name, like Alshon Jeffries, Deuce Stanley, Doug Pedersen, and that's just the Eagles.
Yeah,
we get to the other teams and how Philly just loves to butcher names. But here we are, the offensive coordinator of the Indianapolis Colts. As I was preparing for the show this week, I had the whole list of coaching candidates. I didn't think we'd have a coach in time for the show. Our buddy AB, Avalon Brian Flannery, guest on the show on occasion. He was pretty confident that McDaniels would be here, right? Didn't he say McDaniels? Yes. And who were his picks? Didn't he have McDaniels and an offensive coordinator?
Deuce and Bieniemy.
He said McDaniels and Matt Patricia.
Yes.
Oh, that's what it was.
That was the
Matt
duo
Patricia,
coming in this week.
Parlay it.
Yes,
Parlay
that
it.
with JT being signed all this week.
Whose sources are worse now? His or mine?
Flan's been on a bit of a cold streak.
That's a good question.
Bit of a cold streak. But I thought McDaniels was getting the job as well. I think, as I eloquently put it to you gentlemen, whenever anything that has to do with the Patriots, Mr. Lurie has a blood rush to a certain part of his body when you start talking about the Patriots. And I thought that meant we would be seeing Josh McDaniels and potentially Matt Patricia here. It would have made sense.
That was a pretty family friendly way to
say he's got a hard on for the Patriots.
Exactly. Well, he's born and raised. He tried to buy them before Kraft did.
Who, Lurie?
Yeah.
Yes, he's a big New Englander, and
he's from Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. So,
but I didn't want those New England cast-offs down here.
No,
I didn't want McDaniels.
No. But they gladly take all of our cast-offs and give them rings.
Yes. Here, take Patrick Chung.
Right.
Take Eric Rowe.
Right.
Take Deion Lewis.
Yep.
Enjoy.
One of the Amendola, wasn't he one of our receivers?
He was here at one point. Yeah, but he was here not for too long. He was like I don't even know if he made it through a training camp.
Yeah.
But this guy,
Let me ask you a question. What is it, Sirianni?
Sirianni, yep.
Was he on your list of names?
So he was on. These were odds for the coaches for the next.
So
coach.
this wasn't your personal list of names.
No. My personal list. I honestly, none of these guys excited me. I wanted somebody that had head coaching experience.
Yeah, or at least a coordinator experience.
They have not been able. I shouldn't say that. Doug got us a Super Bowl. So let's. I didn't get to say my piece on Doug last week. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Doug. You got us a Super Bowl. The last season was kind of rough. The season before that was a little questionable too. All these people that were blasting him on the way out the door.
Yep.
Don't kick the man on.
But we had a good time on Broad Street.
Yes. So thank you, Doug. But yeah, I wanted a guy that had some head coaching experience. Not that there were a lot of them out there. The name that I kept seeing, if they wanted to stay on the offensive side of the balls, I wouldn't mind giving Jim Caldwell a shot. His name always seemed to pop up with the offensive.
Yeah.
Even last year when they were trying to figure out if they were going to hire an offensive coordinator or just do the offensive pod.
Oh, God. Dude.
Come on, you all right there, Fumbles? You start calling you Tiki Barber over there.
You're supposed to be a pro by now at this.
Either hold the mic or don't.
Right. But you can't do both.
So yeah, the favorites going in were McDaniels, Joe Brady, Gerard Mayo, Todd Bowles, and then Bieniemy rounding out the top five. Sirianni was right below Bieniemy at a plus 800. Deuce was a plus 14. Kellen Moore plus 2,000. I don't know why we would want him. He only was he the offensive coordinator? That was his first year's offensive coordinator in Dallas. Last year, right? I think he was a quarterback's coach or a position coach.
He was there with
that.
Jason Garrett.
But was he
As
the
an
OC?
Yeah. Wasn't this is his second year, I think.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if
Yeah.
he was the OC under Garrett or if he was just a position coach. But what to say about Sirianni here? He's got I think what I was worried about is coming true. I think they wanted a guy that not necessarily be a yes man. I don't know enough about him, but a guy that was kind of going to do what he was told, right? They didn't want a big personality in there. Somebody that can say, I've had the experience in, hey, Howie, go get your shine box. You don't need to talk to me. I've been here before. I've done this. Go crunch your numbers and come back to me. So I think they're getting that kind of guy where Sirianni's going to play ball with them. Like, let Howie kind of show him how they run things in this organization and just coach.
As Joe White commented, the Eagles wanted a puppet and they got one.
Yeah, exactly, Joe. I think that's what they got.
Yeah. And he's, what is he, 30, 39, is he?
Mm-hmm.
So he's on the younger side.
Yep.
And I think that's what they were looking for. I think Doug had it up to here with that sort of thing, and that's contributed to him being fired because he started and he publicly said he was making these decisions on his own. There was no other influence on the decision. We saw what happened when he did that last year with his coaches. They said, yeah, no, they'll be back next year. Next day they were gone.
Yep.
So yeah, he kind of, had his fill of that and said, screw it. I'm just going, I'm making these calls. And he came out publicly and said it. He didn't play ball with them, as you put it, very aptly. And I think that contributed to him being tossed. And they got somebody that they feel that they can go ahead and pull the strings on and have him toe the party line and just play along. And we'll see how long that lasts. Any idea on a number of years in the contract yet? I haven't seen anything.
They usually
heard
do
anything.
3 years off the bat.
Yeah. He'll do that through the first contract. And then if he's good enough to get an extension.
With Howie's record, these guys don't make it. Chip didn't make it through the first contract.
Well, look, Chip was a disaster.
Yeah.
After the first year, even though he won 10 games again, the second year he didn't make the playoffs. And then the third year was just the bottom fell out. If Nick's good enough to get get a contract extension. Maybe we see him start to push the envelope a little bit and say, I'm calling the shots around here. Maybe he doesn't do it publicly. Maybe it's all behind closed doors. Who knows? But for the time being, yeah, he's going to be a guy that just goes along with the flow, not to ruffle any feathers.
I think that the Eagles just panicked. I mean, you look at what the candidates were when they made the firing of Doug. A lot of guys were still out there. They were a week behind the normal process. So, and then candidates started going left and right. Robert Saleh, Joe Brady, all these guys started, guys that they were interviewing just started picking up jobs, and then they kind of just fell on this guy, Nick Sirianni.
Satriali. Gabagool. Salaman.
So, I mean, it doesn't look great. Nobody was really enthusiastic or thrilled with Doug, so you have that part of it. But I'm just looking at his coaching career history here.
Yeah.
He's never had a job as a coach for more than 3 years. The longest team he was with the Chiefs from 2009 to 2012, and the highest he ever got with them was wide receivers coach in 2012. When he started off as a D-backs coach, a wide receivers coach, quality control coach for the Chiefs offense, and then wide receivers coach, and then all the way up to OC for the Colts.
But I
Does that really
he said he had 5 seasons with the Chargers. And maybe that's just quality control positions.
Well,
He was a
according to
QB
Wikipedia-
coach at one point with.
According to Wikipedia for
Well,
the Chargers,
we know how Wikipedia runs.
he was a wide,
Yes, we do.
a wide receivers coach with the Chargers for a year, 2016 to 2017. Maybe as like you just said, maybe as a quality control coach, but as a coach job listed here, it's only wide receivers coach from 2016 to 2017.
My sources say he was a QB coach with the Chargers.
Okay.
Not that full 5 years. And 2 of the years, I think were 2 of Phillip Rivers' down years. But the year he was the wide receivers coach.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah.
The year he was with the wide receivers coach was one of Keenan Allen's best years.
Yeah.
And I think it was Tyrell Williams at the time.
Yeah.
One of his best years.
Yeah, now I see it right here. But he's never been anywhere for a long time.
So there's an article out on USA Today, Glenn Irby, and they're reporting, 97.3 ESPN FM is kind of reporting that this has John Dorsey's handprints all over it.
I also saw that as well. So I wanted to get into that, the connections that are here that Lurie is probably leading on it. So he was with the Chiefs when Dorsey was there. So Dorsey knows him. He was with the Chiefs with Andy. So Andy can give him an endorsement. He was under Frank Reich. So Frank Reich obviously is going to give him an endorsement. And I think Lurie likes that as well. I'm hearing from all these, like on my prior coaches, guys I trusted, that this is a good guy to bring in. And if this is really Dorsey, does that hopefully show that maybe Howie is starting to lose a little bit of that power? And Dorsey's really going to start to put his fingerprints on the franchise.
Hope not. I don't want John Dorsey running the team as much as I do Howie running the team.
I'll take Dorsey over Howie.
I mean,
Dorsey's got at least how many rings? 2 rings, I think, to show for it.
He's proven.
He's got one with the
because he didn't get one with the Browns.
The Packers.
Yeah, but he drafted. I'm just more worried about his drafting prowess.
I would rather him maybe take control of that.
Yeah.
Instead of Howie drafting and player evaluation.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want Howie anywhere near the players.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's gonna be because they
got to sign a contract.
It's his boy, at Lurie's boy.
Yeah. So Nick, some of his background, he's had the 3 seasons as a KC assistant, 5 seasons with the Chargers, and then he's spent the past 3 with the Colts. One article I saw, I think it was Jeff McClain, got a quote from, I don't know if it was a scout or a GM in the league, that said, he's fairly smart, but not super smart.
Well, sometimes super smart gets in your own way on occasion.
Okay.
Not that I would know.
Okay, Mr. Prep. I look at this guy and I'm like, are we getting the Bobo version of Cliff Kingsbury? A younger guy, smart. Well, Kingsbury's supposed to be smarter than smart. Like him and McVay are apparently on the same level. Do we think that Reich, his influence on Carson, and Carson wanting to get a guy that has been under? Do we think Carson had any influence on this signing?
No.
Well,
If
Smitty might think so.
if Mr. Lurie's in love with
You
his
think
quarterback
Carson
as
wants
much
to come
as
back? Apparently, he's taking some time to himself to figure it out.
Well, I'll bet you he's. I would say borderline happy to see Doug go.
I don't know. I mean, they're just so discombobulated. I don't think any of them know
They
what
are.
they
The
want.
whole organization right now is so they're like in the spin cycle of a washing machine, and they they don't know which direction they're facing. They don't know which way is up right now. I really I'm wondering, I'm a bit worried, frankly, about the way this organization is being run from the top down.
A bit.
Yeah.
Should be very worried. They have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, because Howie sticks around, and I don't know how he does it, because he's, other than one season where he deservedly won executive of the year, he's done squat with this team, and yet he hangs around year after year. And he's a guy that busted up.
Now here's a guy.
He's a guy that busted up.
I know, it's doing the Chris Collins word.
No, he's a guy that busted up the childhood friendship between Joe Banner and Jeff Lurie. I mean, what does he have that keeps him around, that gives him carte blanche to say and do whatever? I don't get it. He's not a football guy. He's a bean counter. And I heard something earlier this week where sometimes Howie would be in the room and people would be like, this is early on in his career, not currently, early on when he was with the team. What's he doing here? Why is he here in this meeting? And Jeff would be like, don't worry about it. He's welcome to be in this meeting.
My consigliere.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like the Moneyball scene when Brad Pitt brings in Jonah Hill as his front office guy. And they're like, what's he doing here? He's like, it's all right. He's with me, got that pass.
Yeah, that's basically what's going on. And like I said, other than that 1 year, what has Jeff done? What has he proven to
Jeff or Howie?
Or Howie, I'm sorry, to carry all this carte blanche that he carries around with him? I don't get it.
He's made decent trades in the free agent signings, but
he's better with proven talent than picking talent.
Now they've blown up in his face, all those moves. Because now you see what the outcome is. The Super Bowl broke us when you think about it.
Yeah, I almost think that was the plan though when he got regained the reins.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, well, this is how we're going to do it. And then if it doesn't work, we're going to go into a rebuild.
Yeah, he went guns a-blazing into that.
That's what happened with the Patriots. Belichick came out and said it this year. He said, we sold out for Super Bowls. And now you see, what did they win? 7 games?
They won.
Or 6 games this year.
7.
It wasn't more than 7.
I think it was 7.
They lose that last game to the
they
Jets.
Did. So then it was 6. No, they lost. They beat the Jets. So 7.
But yeah, I think the whole front office just being whacked out. And I saw Smitty made a comment here earlier about see how he fills out his coaching staff. An example of how messed up this front office is they're holding on to coaches. They're blocking some coaches from interviewing when you didn't even have a head coach yet. How do you know that this guy wants these guys?
Yeah.
I don't know that Dave Phipp, the special teams guys, they seem to be a dime a dozen, right? Like, why are you going to block him? Sirianni may have somebody in the Colts or somebody he worked with at the Chargers that he wants to bring over, give one of his buddies a chance, an opportunity, and they're blocking these guys from getting, is Howie got something with Phipp? Yeah, Phipp will take care of you. You're sticking around.
Of all the years that I've been watching the Eagles, there are 3 special teams coaches that I can remember. One was the guy that had the wad of chewing tobacco in his mouth.
Danny Smith.
Is that what his name was?
He sucked.
Yeah, he
horrible.
sucked. Yeah,
He just
the
chewed
only
gum
thing
the whole
that's
game.
the only thing that stood out about him was that wad of chew in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
John Harbaugh
Mm-hmm.
and Dave Phipp, only because he's the current special teams coach.
Who was the?
But I mean, Harbaugh is the only one that really ever made a name for himself, and good for him. He went on to coach a Super Bowl winning team down in Baltimore, and
there was another guy under Andy that I thought was good.
There,
I can't
I
remember
think
what his
there
name
was
is.
one. Yes, there was one other coach under Andy. It was pretty solid, and
What was
I kind of sort of know who you're talking about, but I can't think of his name. But it's just, yeah. I mean, to keep a grip on certain players or certain coaches,
No,
just-
certain players too.
and certain players too, doesn't make any sense. And especially as Joe White pointed out, that the cap situation with this team, they're going to have to make some moves that they're not going to like. They're going to have to get rid of players that they've, Jeff Lurie has actually developed personal relationships with, and they're going to have to let them go just because they have to. They're not worth justifying keeping them around for the money that they're making. And first on the list is Peters.
And Peters said he wants to play another season. Did
Yes.
you see that?
Yes.
But he acknowledged that he doesn't think it will be.
No, and it
unfortunately,
can't
with
be.
Philly, and it can't be. Yes,
No, it can't be.
just
It will be.
I'm so afraid that it will be.
August is going to come around, training camp starting up, and it'll be.
I really hope not. I really hope not.
They'll pull up in his truck, that pickup truck, that custom out pickup truck, signing that 1-year deal for $6.5 million.
No. But it was only. I think
He
he was
got
only
$8.
getting $1.5 million, and then
He got
he cried about
Lane because Lane was out.
Yeah, I don't want to be a guard. I want to be a tackle. And
I know he'll be back.
no, he can't be back.
He will.
I dread him coming back. Because number one, he blocks your first round pick from a few years ago in Dillard. And
Well, I think he's going to. I think Mailata's blocking him now.
and that was my
Dillard's-
next point was
Dillard's
Mailata.
starting to
He's actually developing into a pretty decent player.
All the reports are saying Dillard's starting to look like a bust,
Yeah, well, yes, but you spent a first round draft pick on him.
and he's never even played.
Has
He never played yet.
he
Yeah, he
played
played.
it? He's played
Not
a
a
few
Not
snaps.
long. Yeah, he got in a couple steps. He played a
Yeah,
couple.
he hasn't played. I don't think he's played a full.
This was his
second
second year, right? And he
No,
tore
I
his-
think this would have been his third year.
you guys are no, it's not. This was his second year.
No, I think it
He
was
was
his third
drafted
year.
2 years ago. What the hell's his name? Andre
Dillard.
I
What the
can't.
hell's his name? First round.
2 years
draft.
ago was the Sanders draft, right?
He got drafted in 2019. You clowns.
All right, relax there.
Nah, I was just fired.
Out of uniform.
Sorry, I know. He's played 4 games.
There you go, you clown.
Touche. Well played.
We had the years wrong, but we saw him on the field.
Right.
Yeah. Was it the? I don't know if it was preseason or not.
I'm pretty sure he played
Training
a regular
camp.
season game.
Yeah, 2019 he played 4 games.
All preseason.
And he looked all right.
Is that you to
No.
say the whole preseason?
Shows facts. We need facts.
He only
He-
played. He played 4 games, but he only played 29% of the snaps.
Yeah,
So he wasn't even starting.
No.
What the hell are we doing? Oh
Well,
my god!
They're not going to. He's a first round pick. And did they move up to get him?
No, he
was where they-
22.
So they're going to hang on to him for as long as they can, just to prove that they might know what they're talking about.
You're talking about boss. They have to hit on this 6th pick.
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's like a must. They
Even-
can't
e-
trade down either. I
even
don't
if
think,
even if they trade out of it, you better get a hole to trade out of that.
and hit on the picks and hit
Yeah.
on and or players. that
Yes,
you're
if you're trading, if your plan is to trade out of it because you're going into a rebuild, you better get a lot for that 6th pick. Don't just give it away because you don't know who you want to take.
Would you guys have any interest in this? Is getting a little off topic, but
We
when
love
you talk about free when you talk about free agencies and trades and all, with Wentz being
Coming up
questionable,
or past?
no, I mean like coming up. Would you go after Deshaun Watson?
Oh,
I would, but I don't think-
absolutely.
yeah.
What
I
would you
would.
give up for him? Like, what's the price?
Wentz and
two-
Hurts and Ertz.
I don't think that's going to do it.
This
Those
isn't-
three for
This,
Yeah,
Deshaun
this
I think
isn't,
they would
this
want
isn't
Hurts.
Madden. This isn't Madden. I would give up Wentz or Hurts, whoever they want, and at least 2 firsts and another player. Hurts, maybe.
See, I wouldn't give up this year's first.
I would. You have to for Deshaun Watson.
I would try. I would
think-
try to conjure my way out of that and think up with another idea on
I-
how to get.
I-
it.
If you're giving them a quarterback, maybe they don't take this year's first, but if I'm the Texans, that's the first thing I come to the table with. I want your
2
first round
firsts.
draft picks.
I want
this
at
year.
least 2 first round
Yeah.
draft picks.
But if you're not giving me this year's, then I want one of those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And I want 3 first round picks then.
Yep.
If I'm not getting this year's.
Maybe even
Or a
some-
couple twos.
I've seen Joe Giglio, that WIP guy, throw out Miles Sanders, which I don't
No.
get. I don't get, but I mean, if that's what it takes, that's what it
But
takes.
I think we got to ask ourselves. We're talking about rebuilding, retooling. What are we
Yeah.
doing?
yeah, if you're
Are
gonna,
we rebuilding? If we're rebuilding,
I think they're going into a rebuild. But if they do it with, I've said this last week, if they go into a rebuild with Wentz, they're so dumb. It's like the dumbest thing they could do.
They might as well try. I agree.
Because
Trade
you
him
just
out.
invested so much money into this guy and you've drafted around him and it hasn't worked. And now you want to go into a rebuild with him? It makes 0 sense. If you're going into a rebuild, trade him away and trade all your value away. The value that you still have on this team, like Ertz, maybe Fletcher Cox.
has Carson, done enough with Jeff and Howie to make him think that it was Doug's fault?
Yeah,
It's Doug's
he
fault.
got Doug
Keep me.
fired.
So
Yeah.
if you're going to say
Yeah.
we're going to
Lori
rebuild, we're going to
chose-
rebuild
Lori
around
chose
him.
Wentz out over Doug. Well, that's the thing. If you're keeping Wentz, then you're not going in. You would think they're not going into a rebuild. You
That's
would
just a
hope.
retool.
That's what
you
they'll
just need to
phrase it
get-
as.
Mhm.
But you'll see it as a rebuild because they're probably going to try to make moves to get more draft. He's already come out and said they want to acquire draft picks.
Yeah, I'm afraid they're going to trade out of that 6th
So
pick.
am I. I think it's a real possibility that they're not going to draft anybody at 6 this
That's a
year.
mistake.
I would
that's
think
a
it's a mistake too. You have a chance to get a guy who could be the greatest wide receiver in college football history, and you pass up on it. I think that's a huge mistake.
But look at his QB, Wentz, who can't throw a ball.
Well, I mean,
A bad receiver,
Make-
a good receiver
Yeah.
can make up for a bad quarterback.
Yes.
Look at Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
oh,
with
my-
Devontae
I knew-
Adams
I
there.
knew he was
Yeah,
going
I
there too. Oh my god.
you, no, but I mean, like
Uh,
Randy Moss and Chris Carter made
Yeah.
Dante Culpepper look like a good quarterback.
yeah.
A good receiver can make up for an
Look at-
average
look
quarterback.
Chad Johnson, T.O. I mean, Carson Palmer wasn't a scrub, but he wasn't that good. He was all right.
Yeah. Troy Aikman. He wasn't a great quarterback. He just had Irvin and Harper and
Evan
Novacek
Smith.
and yeah. Boys.
Ryan Smitty, he's saying hiring this coach, they're not going to trade Carson because earlier he was saying that he thinks this move hiring this guy associated with Frank Reich
Sirianni, it's your new coach, Deke.
yeah is
Start saying his name.
is a way to get Carson back into that
That's where I'm at.
Frank Reich thing
That's that's
and
where-
trying to appease him. So he doesn't think they're going to trade Carson because of the hire. of
So
the
then
coach,
you trade-
Sirianni.
So
There
then
you
you
go.
trade Hurts.
Siri.
yeah. Then you got to trade Hurts.
I'm gonna call him Siri. Thank you, Andrew. I'll call him Coach Siri.
Coach Nick. I think he's going to
But
be Coach
then-
Nick.
That's
But
so
then-
basic. That's like Pee Wee.
If
Like,
we
hey, Coach Nick.
if we
This is
trade
the professionals.
Call him Siri.
National Football League. You call him by his last name.
You call him Sirianni or do you call him Coach Sirianni?
I call him
I'm
Siri.
gonna
Please
call
call
him
him
Siri.
Coach.
I'm gonna call him Siri because it's
That's not professional at all.
Well, I'm not professional.
None of us are.
you're out of uniform.
You're right. Look at me.
If they
You go ahead. You're gonna both take sips at the same time.
that's your cue, Andrew. If they trade Hurts, what does that say about Howie? That's got to be.
That is an idiot.
They trade Hurts and
we
Howie's
know
still
that.
here. Yeah, that's why I think we're coming down to the root cause here that the franchise has no clue what they're doing in that
Yes,
front
it's,
office,
it's Howie,
right? Because yeah, Howie wanted Hurts.
right?
Well, Dorsey was here last year apparently, right? So is that Dorsey or is that Howie? But it's still, you're drafting a quarterback second round,
Mhm.
and now you're saying we're going to stick with this guy. I get why you're sticking with Carson.
You
He's
just
got
go
a
into the
buttload of
s-
money you
you
just paid him.
Yeah, but you,
You
just go
can't
into the
trade
same
him.
problems.
Oh.
Because let's say week 10 rolls around again and Wentz still stinks. Now you got Hurts in there. You throw him in there. You're back to square one.
Well, that's why you can't keep Hurts. Hurts has got to go.
But what if nobody wants him? I mean,
Somebody will take Hurts.
I know there's people out there that would take him, but what if they don't want to give up on him yet because it looks bad on Howie, and you kept Howie over Doug?
Howie can say that was Dorsey's pick.
Oh my gosh!
Honestly, that's. I think it's
You know
the
what
same
Howie
thing.
can do?
Can't
There's
flat
so many
out
built-in
say it.
excuses for this front office.
And I
It's
know what
ridiculous.
Lori should do. There's a front door, Howie. Don't let it hit
He's
you in the
not
head.
going to
It's
do
not
that.
gonna do
It's
that.
not going to
It's
happen.
not going to happen.
You know who's going to have to
He's
hit?
already
Nope.
shown you that he won't do that. with
Mrs.
Byron.
Lurie's going to have to do that. Mrs. Lurie's probably going to have to say, "Hey Jeff, get back to the spa.
What
I got
is-
a business meeting to
this
handle
The
in the
X
front
or the
office."
carrot?
I was
The
just saying,
current,
which one?
the current, yeah.
You want to know what I find interesting about this year? All the leaks that came out of every single leak that came out, none of them were about the front office or Howie Roseman.
Yep.
All the leaks were about the coaching staff and inside the locker room.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
behind all that?
I think it
The
has to be them. I
The
think
front office.
Yeah.
Yes, they're the ones behind all these leaks. Howie just picked another. I don't know if it was in these Facebook comments or on social media. I saw it. Howie just picked another scapegoat
Yeah,
in case
that's
things
who
go
that's-
bad. That's
yep.
who this dude is.
Howie's got himself 3 more years.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it makes
My
Lori-
personal opinion, I think Lori should tell the team.
Oh,
Well,
that's
That-
not going to happen.
that won't happen, but it does.
It
make
should because then that
It's
it's clean. Then clean house.
it makes Lori look bad. As
He's-
a-
They're
There's-
both idiots.
He's got too much money to make, Jeff Lurie.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
Him,
boo
him and
now.
Howie are butt buddies. Like, come on now.
like they just make too much money.
Yeah. There's too much
It's-
money
it's-
to be made.
In order for a guy to sell a team, he's got to be struggling bad.
Struggling bad and get an offer
Yeah.
just blows him away.
An offer he can't refuse,
Right.
like from Sirianni's uncle or something.
Or Kraft tells him we'll give him the Patriots.
Mark Cuban.
Or Cuban.
Swing.
Hey, I'll bet you I heard he's looking to buy a NFL team. He said,
I'm listening to Bob, and what the
We're
hell?
having
is
a side
going-
conversation
Oh my
here.
god, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
"Nah,
Bob.
you're all good."
He's quoting Wayne's World over there.
I caught that. No, I don't know.
Mark Cuban
See-
would be pretty cool though. I love
Trump
the
would be
Cubes.
nice. owner.
I love the Cubes.
So there's a little debate going on in our Facebook
Sure
comments here
is.
right now. And I think I'm on Joe White's side. I said this with I love the idea of Devontae Smith or even Jamar Chase.
Mhm.
That's not what this franchise needs. If you could trade
Well-
back and get Surtain, I'd take that. I'd take
Yeah,
How
but
far
how
back?
far back? You can't get him out of
trade
the
from
top
like
10.
6 to 9.
Nice.
nice, nice.
We're already at 6 though.
I know. So
Gee.
you trade back to 9.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
You go back to the 9, not
yes,
in front of
yeah.
the 6.
No, you got to back it at 9.
You always go back to the 9.
I mean, you gotta. It depends on if
Are you front? Are you the front 6 or the back 9?
Mute the mics.
back 9.
The
back nine is
always
always rough.
rough.
You always got to
Yes.
stop after the back.
Yes.
You know
Oh,
how
hey,
uncomfortable
Bob.
this is
Mute
to
the
have
mics.
hear your son have this conversation.
Mute the mics.
Ugh.
We're done.
Nah, but I'm with Joe
As
White.
funny as it is,
I want something other than the receivers. They just spent too much
Oh,
capital
I
the
want a
last 2 seasons on
linebacker.
receivers.
Can't-
I'd love a
I don't
linebacker,
think
but
a
they're not.
linebacker
They're not
is
going
six.
to.
Not
This
at 6.
franchise doesn't
No.
take linebackers in the first round.
You don't take a linebacker in the top 6, 7 picks either.
You take Micah Parsons.
No, stop.
Come on, Michigan State. You
Oh
take
my
Micah
gosh.
Parsons.
Just because
Nate Gary's looking nice. And
just because he's
good
a
on that
a
free
Nittany
agent.
Lion doesn't mean you take him. As good as he could be, even though he's kind of small.
When he's wreaking havoc because another team
Could be
they're
playing for
gonna-
the Giants.
You watch, they're gonna fall. He's gonna Micah Parsons is gonna fall. You know who he's gonna fall to?
The Giants.
The Giants or
Cowboys.
yep.
Nah, he's a healthy guy.
Don't you
the
put that
Cowboys?
evil-
The Cowboys only like guys with bad necks.
wow.
Even my buddy Sean Lee, another Penn Stater.
Joe White says sign Allen Robinson, Chris
That's-
Godwin, and draft Micah Parsons.
That's a possibility.
Where are you
as
getting that
well.
money, Joe?
We're
Yeah,
$70
seriously, what are you
million
pulling that
over.
out of your
70 something
behind?
mil over the cap. Yeah,
There's-
where are you getting that
There's
money?
a possibility for that. I
They're
mean-
just all Penn Staters. That's why he's saying it. If you guys didn't pick up on that, that's
Wait,
all.
who do you?
What?
Chris Godwin,
Al
Allen
Robinson,
That's right.
Godwin,
Joe.
and
Yeah.
Is Godwin a free agent?
No.
Yeah.
Al Robinson is.
I know
No.
Allen Robinson is. I don't
Yeah,
think
no, Godwin. I think Godwin's still on his
Who's-
rookie contract.
There's a team that was in the playoffs that has like a ton of free agents coming. Was it the Saints?
It was
the
the
Saints.
Saints.
They're 99 mil over. or
No,
something.
they have like a lot of free agents though.
Yeah, but
The Saints.
currently they're 99
It
mil
was the
over.
Steelers. It was the Steelers.
Steelers.
The Steelers have a ton of free agents coming up, so maybe they got some.
Juju sitting out there.
Juju will be a free agent. I don't want Juju. Though.
I think the top receivers are Robinson, and I think Kenny Galladay is going to be a free
Galladay's
agent
a
too.
free agent.
I heard
yes.
he's on the Dolphins.
Galladay.
Yeah, he's on to some like I forget. I think it's the Dolphins.
It's January. It didn't
season
even
yet.
start yet. Free agency didn't start yet.
No.
I was saying.
It's just rumors.
I want to
Joe,
get.
Joe confirms he just wants to add all Lions players to the, and that's PSU Lions.
Yes.
How many good Penn State players are there in the NFL though?
Like broken like with Ben
That's,
X
that's like an
or-
honest question. That's like an honest. I'll
with
give you
Ben
Allen
X?
Robinson. I'll give you Chris Godwin, Saquon. Adrian.
Sure, there's a couple offensive linemen.
Adrian
They're good
Amos.
at popping out offensive linemen.
Adrian Amos is good. The defensive
Sure.
back for the Packers.
linebacker for the Cowboys.
Sean Lee, he's done.
He stinks. He's
Oh,
done.
4.
Robbie Gould. He's still in the league, right?
Was he- yeah, where was he? The,
God, yeah, he's
the
man,
Niners.
he's
No.
got to be. He's over 40, right?
Did Boswell go to this?
Probably.
Did Boswell go to Penn State?
Brian Bosworth.
Chris-
Oh,
Chris-
I'm
Chris
thinking
Boswell.
Bosworth.
I don't
Jesus.
think
no,
so.
I don't think he did.
Matt Gesicki.
Gesicki.
Gis-
Yep. Gesicki, that's
yeah.
a good one.
He's
Yep.
a big dude. tight end.
Yep, Sanders.
Miles Sanders. How did I? Oh,
Joe says Godwin is a free agent. I didn't think he was.
wow. Penn State produces a lot of good NFL talent.
Right.
Once upon a time, they were known as linebacker U.
Yeah.
I know they. I know.
Deke.
I'm not that young.
Young.
They're like- they're like
I've
the,
been
It goes
around.
back to the 70s.
All right, but it's been around my lifetime too. Paul Posluszny, Sean Lee,
When you
Uh,
were
How
a
old are you
baby.
in the 70s, sir?
Navarro Bowman.
Oh, me or
yeah,
DJ?
you.
Me?
Yeah,
Well, 74, I turned 10. So take it from there.
I doubt that, but
I don't.
We see the birth certificate. I want to get back to the coaching before we take a break.
All right.
So the head coach is here. What happens with Deuce? If you're Deuce Staley, what are you
See ya.
doing now?
I
Do you
I don't
want
think
the
he
offensive
leaves.
coordinator
I don't-
job?
I don't think he leaves. Honestly,
I don't know, man.
where else is he gonna go?
Chiefs.
We
Where-
talked about
where-
if Bieniemy, there's only one job left. If the Texans hire Bieniemy, do you think Andy says, "Come on over, Deuce"?
I don't think so.
I don't think he's got enough experience.
Yeah, he's never called plays.
But Andy
he's
does. Andy
never
calls the
has-
plays anyway.
He's
Neither
never
has neither has whatever the hell this dude's
Nick
Nick.
Sirianni.
Come on, Sirianni.
Sirianni.
Nick
No,
Siri. Yeah,
Polish
oh,
accent.
please.
He's never
All right,
called plays.
keep
He's never
going.
game planned. Where else can he go?
A team where he
He's
just figures
always-
out the running back rotation and makes sure the right tight ends are out there.
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
that's
Chiefs
Andy's,
is
I
dead.
that's
like-
Andy's offense.
I liked your scenario we were talking about in the way up, that if Bieniemy takes off, Deuce goes out there, takes the OC job out there.
think-
That would be a great fit for him, I think.
I just don't know how
Not
you.
that he would do anything, but
If I'm him, I'm leaving.
That's where
Just
I'm
yeah.
at, Bob. Like I
Yes.
don't know how
Yeah.
you stick around.
3 times he's been passed over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, 3 times he's been passed over. They appeased him with a salary bump and an assistant head coach title, but
That doesn't do
in
anything. for
essence,
him.
he was still just a running backs coach. He had no or very little input into the offensive game plan, no play calling, and his running backs rotation
Was suspect. At
was especially in the
way
second
too
half.
much Sproles. Way too much Sproles.
Maybe not enough Sproles. Especially in the second half of games when Sanders would just disappear.
Yeah.
He'd have like 10 to 12 runs in the first half, and then he might get 3.
Yeah.
You know,
Was
it's
that,
like
was that dog too?
what the hell?
Was that dog also making? Was that dog? Tied on
That could be Doug telling him, yeah, because Doug is pass happy. That would I could see that being part of the situation where Doug said, no, we're just going to pass the ball more. You know, and it depends
He
on.
was also down a lot, so he had.
I was just going to say that it would depend on the score at halftime, and you know those sorts of things. A lot went into the decision, but the guy was one of the best running backs in the league. He had top 3 to 5 running averages in the league. You got to feed him the ball more. And, you know, yeah, I know he dropped a couple passes, but I think he's still a decent receiver out of the backfield.
So you think Sirianni comes in here and if you're a first-time head coach, do you want experienced DCs and OCs, guys that may have had that head coaching position before? So I'm thinking about the Doug scenario. They hired Schwartz before they hired Doug.
Yeah.
So Doug had that backup head coach, and did Reich have his shot at a head coach, or he was just interim in San Diego for a season, right?
What was
Frank
that again?
Reich. Frank Reich, when he was brought in here as the OC, I think he had a head coaching with the Chargers at one point.
Okay.
But I can't remember if that was just an interim head coaching position or if he had a couple years. But if you're Sirianni, do you look for a guy like, I hate to say Matt Patricia, because he hasn't really had great head coaching experience, but Jim Caldwell, a guy that, you know, with the Colts.
How was Patricia's defense when he was up in New England? I mean, they didn't have a good Super Bowl. The Eagles were the only defense that made a play that game. You know, it happened in the last 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, 1,000 yards.
So,
you know.
right, between the two teams. So neither defense played especially well, and only one made a play. He had over 500 yards. So I don't know what his teams did during the course of a regular season in the years that he was the DC up there.
Doesn't matter. We beat him.
Yeah, no, I'm saying if he was to come here as a defensive coordinator,
it's better than Jim Schwartz's.
When Andy was hired, they hired Jim Johnson because they didn't want Andy worrying about both sides of the ball. They wanted an experienced person running that defense, and Jim Johnson was the perfect guy. He had been in the league for quite some time, had a bunch of coaching experience. And he was the guy that complimented Andy well. Andy didn't have to worry about one thing on the defensive line side of the ball. All he had to worry about was offense. And he did a good job with the offense, considering some of the choices he made for wide receiver and that sort of thing. So I think that's what this kid's going to need to do. He's going to need to pick somebody that's been around a while, who knows the ropes in the NFL, knows defenses real well, and say, yeah, you're the DC, go get them. I don't want to have to worry about that side of the ball.
So we're going to get a retread.
So are you willing to move to a 3-4? Because Wade Phillips.
That's the name that keeps going to my head, too.
But do we want to move to a 3-4? I mean.
Well, I guess you can get rid of Malik Jackson after this season and it won't cost you too much. But you're paying Cox and Hargrave. I mean, those guys don't work in a 3-4 together. I don't know, but that's the name Bob that was coming to my head too. Like, he says he's ready to come back, but he's also a guy that his defense, he goes 3 years, builds a really good defense, and he seems to fall off.
It's Ryan Smitty just said he thinks it's going to be this guy Gannon, who's the cornerback coach from Indy, as the DC. I don't know anything about a Gannon other than Rich Gannon, who was a year behind me at the prep.
Jesus.
Damn, I didn't think he was that old.
Yeah. Him and Tom Burton, two most famous guys that come out of the class of 83 was Philly fanatic Tom Burgoyne and Rich Gannon. Yeah, they were a year behind me at the prep.
Sounds like a good time for a break.
Yeah, sure. We can do that. I need a refill on Pops anyway, so.
All right, yeah, we'll take a break. Who knows where this coaching carousel will take us? We have a new head coach, Nick Sirianni.
Siri.
We'll see him down there maybe at
Siri.
Sarcone's and Angelo's. Get himself a nice cheesesteak.
Termini Brothers. Don't forget about that.
Termini Brothers. You a Termini Brothers guy? Or
Oh,
are you
yeah.
in the name just lost the
For cannolis?
yeah, there's the other not O'Teary's. Who's the other Italian baker down there that for cannolis? Is it O'Teary's?
Might
Anyway,
be.
Termini's the one that
I'm Termini's.
All right.
yeah, we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit. We got a little more NFL to talk. We'll talk maybe some MVP players in the city. Talk about some players that aren't here yet that maybe we need to get here soon. And how not to harass people through texts.
Correct.
Does that sound like a good topic?
Yes.
All right. We'll be right back in a minute. Stick around. InsurePhilly.com. We comparison shop all the time. Can I get this cheaper on Amazon? What will the store brand see? Should I get a second estimate on this remodel? So why not do that for your insurance needs? Better yet, why not have someone comparison shop for you? At InsurePhilly.com, you can get up to 10 quotes in about 10 minutes with top insurance carriers like Progressive, Travelers, Nationwide, Selective, Liberty Mutual, Encompass, Kemper, and Berkshire Hathaway. Owner agent Matt Maloney provides top national carriers with top local service. Just go to InsurePhilly.com to get your quote online or call Matt at 215-300-9590 for all your insurance needs, auto, home, life, business, and Medicare insurance plans. Make sure to go to InsurePhilly.com today or call 215-300-9590. Matt Maloney gives you the national carriers you recognize from a local company you can trust. InsurePhilly.com. We are back. Another episode of the Santa Boot First podcast here on Crack Bell Production Studios, live on Facebook. Thank you to our sponsor, Matt Maloney, the MPM agency, InsurePhilly.com. For all your insurance needs, give Matt a call. Check him out on InsurePhilly.com. Get up to 10 quotes in about 10 minutes. And as always, we are powered by Pops McCain's Fine Irish Whiskey. All right, where do we want to go next, boys? Want to talk a little Phillies first? We did mention at Peters. So let's get a couple more football points out of the way. So Jason Peters says he wants to play one more season. We touched on that. Phillip Rivers retiring.
Mm-hmm.
Before the Sirianni signing, it was like, all right, well, you just spark up the Carson to Indy trade rumors. Maybe it's still a possibility if Frank wants him. Mm-hmm. I doubt it, though. I think this move to me says Carson wanted a guy in the mold of Frank Reich, and he sticks around, and he's here. Is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer?
Not first ballot, for sure. But I think he gets in.
Numbers wise, yes, he is. I know he's won a few playoff games. I'm not sure. I think he has a losing record in the playoffs.
Oh.
Phillip Rivers.
Oh.
I don't know if they've ever won any divisions out there. I don't think he's ever been to a championship game.
I think they've won a division.
They've won it, but have they been to the AFC championship?
I don't think he's ever.
He's always been.
Yeah, I don't think
by
he's ever.
Peyton.
Ran into the Patriots.
Right. When you look at the numbers, you think, "Wow, what a hell of a career," but he never won an MVP. He probably was never in the top 5 MVP. He's eventually going to get in, but when I think Hall of Fame, I think best of the best. Maybe redefine the position like a Brian Dawkins did, or was just as absolute best at the position for about a 10 to 12 year period. At quarterback, you can be the best at your position for that long. And I don't see him meeting either one of those requirements when you're talking about Hall of Fame.
He came in at a time where, though, there's a lot of good quarterbacks. Like we
Yeah.
were lucky
Yeah.
to see some really
Yeah.
good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So let me give you some of his numbers because these surprised me a bit. He's been to 8 Pro Bowls. That's fan voting, player voting. I don't put too much
Pro
into that.
Bowls don't hold any water for me.
He's number 5 all time for pass TDs.
How many?
I don't have the number.
Dude,
Sorry.
you wrote that down, but you didn't write the number down.
Stick with me. He's number 5 all time for passing yards.
Okay.
He's number 5 all time for completions.
Okay.
He had 252 straight starts and apparently never missed a game.
That's impressive.
That shocked me.
That's really impressive.
After kid 6, you would think, all right, I'm gonna. And then he popped out 5. Well, he did. His wife did, but
Yeah.
5 more kids, and you're not. Maybe actually that's why he never missed a game because then he'd have to be home with
He's
the
got
kids.
he's got 421 touchdowns.
So those numbers are
That's-
impressive. That's a better career than what.
Yes. The like I said, the numbers pop out at you after 17 years
especially with the kids.
in the yeah.
They're falling out at that point.
Really.
Yeah.
17 years playing in the AFC West. You know, back in the day, that was, and I'm going back to the AFL
60s,
days.
right?
Yeah, I'm going back to the
The
AFL
30s,
days.
like the 20s, 30s, and all that.
The AFC West back in the day was just pass the ball downfield as often and as far as you can, and it carried on up until, I don't think it's as prevalent today as it was back then, but that's the mindset, that's the philosophy of the AFC West, and Philip Rivers is right there with it. You had Air Coryell with the San Diego Chargers back in the day. So yeah, the numbers are standoutish numbers, but when you get into the serious accolades,
I think
like all pros, how many all pros did he make?
I don't have that one written down.
Yeah, check out all pros. Go ahead, Andrew.
I think
Not
he's a
only
Hall of
fans,
Fame.
all pros. He said, DJ.
God.
When I just saw someone in here. Oh, it was Mike Malone said, was he ever a top 5 quarterback
No.
during his time playing? And that's because he was looking at guys like Brady, Rivers, Brady,
Man.
Peyton, Breeze.
Rogers, Breeze,
Who's Rodgers?
AR.
Who's this guy?
12. Got the,
Oh,
Archbishop
the
Ryan.
guy that Devontae Adams is going to win a Super Bowl for?
The yellow helmet with the G on the side. Yeah.
He's never made an All-Pro.
Pro Bowl.
There you go. Your dad making me feel welcome with Daryl LaMonica, Kenny Stabler, and Dan Fouts.
Yeah, well, that's actually Fouts is good for Rivers, right? Because it was a numbers guy.
Yeah.
They have a ton
Yeah.
of numbers
Yeah.
and just
And
never
never won
won.
anything. But Dan Fouts went to at least one AFC championship game. I don't know if he ever won an MVP, but they got at least one AFC championship game.
Kellen Winslow is a 3-time All-Pro.
That's Kellen Winslow, I think.
No, you remember Kellen Winslow though? Out at the Hall of
Oh,
Fame.
Junior? The
Man,
dad. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You're bumping into him?
yeah. We took a piss together. I took the adult stall. He had the kid.
He had the kids stuff. So you got a 5'7" guy at the adult stall and a
5'6".
6'5" guy standing at the kids urinal.
He was cool though. He was a nice guy. I said, "Hey, how you doing?" He said, "Good. How you doing, son?" I
Was he
said,
wearing his jacket?
Yeah, he had his gold jacket on
Nice.
and all. He was cool. He's a nice guy.
That's funny.
Washed our hands, you know.
You
That was it.
didn't ask him to autograph or anything for you?
I didn't have any. I was just in a Wentz. Was I in a Wentz jersey? I think I was in my Wentz jersey, and I was just
shirt up.
nah. I didn't. I felt awkward because
Yeah.
the security was blocking off the walkway they had from the
Yeah.
I guess
It was the velvet rope.
the cafeteria, whatever banquet hall they were in,
Yeah.
eating lunch to the bathroom.
Right.
So they blocked, and they didn't really want fans going into the bathroom because they knew players would be. So I had to go to the bathroom, but at the same time, I wanted to go just in case there was that
Just in case.
chance that somebody would come in, and luckily somebody did.
Yeah.
It wasn't Dawkins, but Kellen Winslow was cool. Dude was friggin' huge, though.
What about Ray Lewis? What if he came in?
I might have said murderer.
Murder!
Screamed it. Nah, I wouldn't. I would have been. Like,
No, you
"Ew."
would have.
I would not
You
say
would
murder.
have
You would've clamped up and ran.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! Would you imagine? Would you say, son? Nothing,
You-
sir.
You would have got a swirly big time.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
No harm here.
All right, so from one MVP to the next MVP. Joel.
He's playing like it.
He's playing like
So
it.
far, I think he's the MVP of the league. Him or LeBron
The
or
boy-
KD.
the boy Bron.
Yeah, I think
LeBron.
I'd say KD, LeBron, and Embiid are probably top. Luka too. Luka's in there in the talks. But I think Embiid's the top candidate for MVP right now. Where it's very
For
early.
him to get it,
Very early, but
I think
That's-
he's got to continue.
Look
He's
what
got to.
doing.
He's got to finish the season averaging like
30 points a game.
I was gonna say like 35 and 12.
nah, see,
He's a
It's-
center. They
it's-
don't like to give the MVP to centers.
I agree, but it's different standards for that position now. See, if he was like a
But that's what I'm saying.
if he was like a guard or a small forward, sure. But since he's a center and is still able to dominate, not putting up 30 a night, I think it's different.
I think he's got to be complete, like the best
Wilt
player for
Chamberlain.
them to look
Yeah,
at him
yeah,
and
yeah.
say we're
Like
going
Wilt
to make him
Chamberlain.
MVP. Just because of
Except-
everybody loves the LeBrons and the KDs.
Yeah,
and
no,
Yeah.
I agree. I think
But
in order for him to have any shot at it at the end of the year, he has to be the best player on the
Yeah.
court every night. He can't just put up 25 and 16 and be like, "Oh, it's a great night," but he wasn't the best
did Wilt,
player.
did Wilt ever win MVPs?
Yes, he won a few.
I mean, on the court, not off the court. You know what he did off the court.
Yes.
Gosh.
Yes, he won a few on the court too, Andrew.
I'm teaching this kid.
Right.
He's on Xbox too much.
The thing with Joel right now is it's so early. I know it's a shortened season, but it's still really early. He's got a long way to go to have that thing handed to him, and he's got to do it night after night after night.
And the
It's
only
a grind.
the only reason why they're in first place in the conference is because of Embiid.
No, I agree with that.
I mean,
Um,
the dude's the
and-
only
and
one that
Maxey.
shows up. Well, no, Embiid's the only one that shows up every game and like gives it
You
everything.
want to know why?
And dominates.
It's probably Doc pushes them.
No, I think it's just that he has more freedom now. He's not control. He's not. In
He's
a
not told to
controlled
go sit at the
offense.
3-point line and
Well,
sit there
no,
all
but
game.
Embiid's brought up the ball before with Doc's offense, is what I'm saying. I mean, he has free roam to do what he wants,
Mm-hmm.
and then with Brett, he didn't have that. They had all these different sets that they would run. Doc just lets them play.
Yep.
And I think it's working out better for them.
I think he's maturing.
I
Yeah,
Ben
think so
Simmons,
too, yeah.
he's a
absolutely
daddy.
sucks.
He realizes that
Yeah.
the league
You
chirps
gotta
about
grow
him
up.
like you're
You
not gonna.
Yeah.
You're more of a goofball
You
than
can't
a
be
player.
the Twitter
and-
troll
Yeah,
the whole
and,
career.
and he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
The thing about the organization and him, he's sat out 3 games. Is it now? 2 of them
Just
with
sat
a
2 in a
stiff
row,
back.
right?
Well, the one was with the COVID protocols, and then the other, I think.
All right, I'm talking injury. It was
Yeah, he had the back
2 with the back and
soreness.
1 with the foot or ankle, right?
He had the soreness or something.
And he's had a history of so-called back tightness. Why can't the organization
I know
hire a
I think you're
chiropractor
looking too much
just
into
to
this.
keep his back in order?
I think you're looking too much into
Like
it.
Cole Hamels.
Yeah,
No, I think when you look at it, I think it's more of just to get him rest. I
Yeah.
don't think this is
which
because
is
he's-
bullshit.
Well, that's what Doc started that really.
It's no. What's his name started that? Load management.
Who?
Kyrie,
Brett.
No, load management was around before Brett Brown. Doc Rivers did it with the 08 Celtics, and that's why they won a championship.
Well, well, don't get me
I
started.
mean,
on
it was
load
around
management.
him too. It was before him too. But I mean, Doc, and he did it with the Doc was notorious with it with the Clippers with Kawhi.
and Paul George.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I mean, it's
I don't like it. I don't believe in it. It was
Dude,
It was never a
basketball.
it was never a thing until what? 15 years ago?
Grow
12 years
Deke.
ago?
It's the new NBA.
Guys took nights off before.
Yeah, but
not
they
Jordan.
didn't say oh, we're
Yeah.
resting him, or
Jordan
or
took
it's load
nights off.
management. He
He
just
hung over and played hungover.
I was Dennis
flu-like
Rodman.
symptoms.
Right.
I was Dennis Rodman.
Scottie Pippen sat out for what? How long?
I just
Half of the half
Ryan
season.
Smitty's sounds like he's all about the load management.
It
I'm old
works.
school. I don't like it.
It
I don't
works.
mind giving
It's
the guy
the
a
new
pay.
NBA.
You're paying players to play, not to
But
sit,
it
and you're
works.
paying them a
It-
shit ton of money.
Deke. It's the
And,
new
you know,
NBA and it works.
It's not they're not 35 years old and banged up. They're in their 20s. They're in their prime. They should be able to do. They should be able to play night after night and contribute. Sorry.
Yeah, but I think because you're paying him that shitload of money, you want to make sure that you're not overriding.
And that's the
Right.
thing. There's so much money involved anymore.
Exactly.
You want them on the court as much as possible. I get it.
Exactly.
But
I get why they do it. I just don't like it.
I would almost rather they look at the season and say, all right, this is the games. You're going to sit out this game against the Hawks.
Oh, they have it.
We don't
planned
need
out.
you.
They have it.
And then
planned out.
see if,
Yeah.
we had a rough stretch this week. You had a couple really physical games. How you feeling?
like you noticed who did they just play?
Celtics.
No. The 2 games at home. Oh my god.
Miami.
the back.
Miami had a bunch of guys out, so Embiid sat out. I
Yeah.
mean, he's not going to sell against Boston. You just can't do that. But they have it planned out. He's not going to sell against like the Bucks or Lakers or maybe the Warriors because they're bad. But
Their centers.
Yeah, and it
killing
cost them a
there.
game against Miami. They lost one of those games.
No, they did not.
The one he sat out.
yeah,
Didn't they lose?
Yeah, they did lose. Well, that's because no, they swept.
No, they swept them.
No, they lost to.
Oh, they won in overtime the first
yeah,
game.
they swept Miami. Who they did lose a game that he sat out though. Yeah, right.
Nets.
Yeah, maybe it was the Nets. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The Nets.
Yeah.
No, they had
And-
no one. No, they did a Embiid for the Nets game.
He sat out a game they lost.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
More of the story.
A game that Ben didn't sit out, but apparently Ben can't carry this team.
He is a problem,
Yes.
a big problem.
Yeah, I'm,
Like
I'm
I
not
said
digging.
last
I'm
show.
not digging his mental makeup right now.
Like I said last show, because he doesn't have Brett Brown with him.
Nah, that's not the problem.
I
That's a
think Brett
big
helped,
problem.
but I agree. I think he's showing himself to maybe be a little too soft.
Mhm.
And I
And it-
totally think that if the right trade comes along,
He's out.
Maury's still
Oh yeah.
Why'd
I-
they trade him
willing
with,
to let
this,
him-
with the Harden trade? With the
Did you see what the hard?
That's
trade
what it
was,
is.
dude?
He's butthurt about the Harden.
No, I don't
talk.
think he said he's fine.
Of
said-
course he said he's
Yes.
fine.
Yeah, but I think right now it's just the game aspect of it is just mental with him. He's in his own head.
Like,
I don't think it's
Wentz-
Doc. I don't think it's like the coaching staff. I don't think it's the fans. I think it's just he's in his own head. He's just in his own way. Because we know what he can do. We know who he is. And I think he's just got to get back to that. Right now, he's just putting too much pressure on himself, and he's
is it Koza Maxey?
he's forcing. No, why would it be Maxey?
Maxey's playing a hell of a game.
Maxey's not taking his position.
but he's doing better.
Yeah, he's doing good, but he's not taking Ben Simmons' spot. I just think it's just his own self. He's just putting too much pressure on him.
pressure for what?
Just that he
To
thinks
be-
he has to
does he
do
think he
so
needs
much
to be
more.
the
Yeah,
star?
because everyone's seeing what Embiid's doing, and I think that he feels like he needs to step it up too.
Well, he
Try
does.
to help carry
Yeah.
his team, but it's just not his team to carry. It's Embiid's team.
Do you think they could be a dynamic though?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but
Come on, man. Turn the brain on. God.
It's nighttime.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think he's not just butthurt. I think it's at the back of his head that he might get traded.
Yeah,
think
it
it's still-
definitely
I think
lingers
it's
on
still
him.
there.
Yeah.
Doc
I
has said that they've gotten plenty of trades that he told Morey, nah, I don't like that one. But that means they're still coming in.
Yeah.
And if Morey thinks he's got someone on a hook,
Yeah,
and he
I-
just wants to
and how much-
massage it a little bit,
And how much longer are you going to get Embiid like this? You know, is
Yeah.
he going to keep this up for another year next year, and you have your chance of winning next year too? You know, if you got to
I
go in
think-
all in now, you got to go in all in now.
I think the Eastern Conference Final is going to be Nets Sixers. That's my prediction.
is Ben Simmons going to be playing for the Sixers?
Ah,
When's the trade deadline?
February.
It's usually around like right around the All-Star break. So
which is
It's a short
February.
season,
I
right?
would say, yeah, now it's a shortened season. So I would say early February. It's
Yeah.
coming up.
If you want to, I think if you want a good analogy for what Ben Simmons is going through, look at Zach Ertz, his contract situation. I think it really
Ben's contract situation isn't a problem.
well. I mean, as far as but now he's got that trade talk bouncing around in his head. Zach Ertz had the contract talk bouncing around in his head, and I think the byproduct of both of those situations is poor play on the field and on the court, because it for some reason players they say that they can separate the two, and they when it's all business when it comes to game time and yada yada yada, but they're human beings also, and sometimes that does come into play.
Here's a
Things
question.
Thursday,
off
March
court.
25th.
Oh,
is the
shit.
deadline.
That's
deadline?
Thursday,
I was
March
way off.
25th. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I was speaking out of
Well, it
my
might be
ass.
different. It's
Well, the
probably
season
different
started.
for the NHL. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
you would have
probably
thought the
pushed
season would have
this-
started in October like it normally
All-Star
does.
break is probably not so. And they're not even
There
doing
is
an
there an
All-Star
All-Star?
game.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
think they're
gonna say.
doing one this year. Yeah. Here's a question nobody's asking: does he need Kendall? Was that the secret weapon for him? Does he need Kendall Jenner? Because he
Can
played at
Kanye take her place?
he played at an All-Star. Oh
Man.
Imagine he's off Jeffree Star now.
Is he?
I don't know. Is he?
I don't know.
There's those rumors too. But I
It's on
mean,
the James Charles now.
he was playing at an All-Star level with Kendall. Maybe he needs a girl.
No, here's the real question: is Ben no longer untouchable?
No,
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 I don't think he is anymore.
not when there was a trade in principle for Harden with Ben and Matisse involved.
So what do we lose if we lose Ben?
Ugh.
Well, and I
They have to
agree.
process.
Yeah.
Smitty, yes. And Smitty said earlier, you lose a lot of defense if you get rid of Ben.
Absolutely, you lose your perimeter defense and down
Yep.
low too.
Yep.
But
And rebounding. that
Your
helps.
fast break game is now halted because
And-
you don't have that.
Right, and your facilitator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what Ben is. And people pressure him so much into shooting, which he absolutely needs to do. And that takes time to develop.
takes time to develop. He's what's his 5th year?
Yeah, Deke.
When did Magic get a jump shot?
Oh, stop it with Magic.
When
Magic,
did- when
Magic.
When did Steve Nash get his jump shot? When did Jason Kidd get his jump shot?
Load
Go ahead.
manage-
Tho-
You're
load
so
management, Deke.
those are Hall of Fame players that
Right,
you're talking about.
right.
Ben Simmons is not
Not yet.
nearly.
But he's
Not
compared,
nearly
but
on
he's
that level yet.
compared to those
You
players.
cannot compare Magic Johnson.
He's
to Ben
compared
Simmons.
to them.
No.
The style of play, not right now, but his style of play is
Minus
But you,
the
you
age.
said, when did he get a jump shot? When did he get a shot? I think Magic Johnson's Magic Johnson, right?
Yeah, but Ben Simmons is Ben Simmons. They're both. I wouldn't say this year Ben's a generational talent, but it's a talent
Ben
that
was
only
never
comes around
generational.
5-10 years. Like it doesn't come
No.
every year.
I don't think he's a generation.
No,
Yeah, neither
I,
do
I, I no
Not-
longer believe
not
that
this
either.
year.
No, he's not, DJ.
But he's still a top 20 player in the NBA.
No,
Yeah, he is.
not
Dude,
this year.
Yes, he is.
I'm gonna have to give up my Wentz jersey. You're gonna have to give up your Ben jersey. Just you know,
I'm giving up the
come-
Wentz jersey.
come to
No, I agree that he's been bad this year. I'm just not giving up on him. Like I didn't give up on Wentz. I think there's more to him.
Like what?
You've seen what he is. He's been an all-star. He's been a top 20 player in the league.
Yeah, but not this year.
Not this year, okay.
I
This
think
is
it's
not his
tougher.
year.
It's 15 games into the year. Like we got a long way
Yeah,
to go.
but we're 4 years or 5 years or whatever it is into his career.
right, and he's had a bad start to a season.
You know what I see when he takes the ball down the court? I see the opposing team backing into the paint
Mm.
No,
because they know he's
yeah.
not. They're going to give him
Correct.
room
Yeah.
all day. He's not going to shoot.
No, I
If
agree.
They're daring him to pass it,
I-
and they're taking away the lane.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. He needs a shot. He needs to develop a shot.
Yes. Even if he
Yes.
shoots it every three
But-
times he goes down the
But
court.
that's not his. That's not who he is.
It doesn't matter. He's predictable. He's
He's a
fallen
fac-
under predictable.
he's a-
He's gotta shoot the ball every now and again.
I will agree. He needs to shoot the ball way more
If-
than
Does
he
he need
does.
to be a
I'm-
40-point guy? No.
If
No,
I'm an
and that's
opposing coach, when he's on the floor,
Mhm.
I play zone and I block
Yes.
the lane.
Well, you can't play
I
zone
cla-
with him.
yes, you can.
Not with him.
Yes, you.
Toronto did.
No, if Ben Simmons is on the court, I don't care who else is on the court. If Ben Simmons is on the court, I'm playing zone and I'm clogging the lane. I'm getting back on defense, and I'm going to keep somebody up to try and slow him down before he crosses half court. And I'm playing zone and I'm clogging the lane because he's not going to shoot.
But he has.
And if you
guys-
do shoot, please do, because your chances are not going to make it.
but he has guys that can shoot around him.
Yeah, and you got to get out on them.
I just think there's this unnecessary pressure on Ben to be more than what he is, and
He was a number 1 pick.
right. But no, I mean, you're right.
Right?
but-
Like that pressure comes with that.
yeah, but what he is not what people
Markel Fultz.
want. He's not Markel Fultz.
But I'm saying Markel Fultz is a bust here now. He's going to
No, he's not.
I
He's-
wouldn't really
he's earned it.
necessarily say
Yeah.
Simmons is a bust. Like I think he does things.
He's a
he
great.
does.
He's
He's
a good
important.
player.
No,
he's
he's-
important to the team.
Right.
No,
With-
he's
you
definitely
take-
not a bust.
You take Ben Simmons, say he gets hurt, you'll see the loss that it is for the team. The offense will not be the same without
Who-
Ben Simmons.
if they get rid of Ben Simmons,
no,
who
I'm saying-
takes over the point
no,
guard
I'm
position?
saying if
Maxey.
I'm saying Ben gets hurt and he's out.
Yeah, no, I'm
If you trade-
saying if they trade him,
Yeah,
who
you-
takes the point guard position?
You hopefully get one in return.
Okay, and if you don't,
You don't like the trade.
Then yeah,
You don't
probably-
trade him
yeah,
unless
don't
you're
make-
getting.
yeah.
Unless
you're
I know
getting-
Beal's a scorer. Is he a point guard?
Nah, he's more.
He's a
Shooting
shooting guard.
I would
right?
try to trade with the Rockets. Try to get John Wall or Victor Oladipo.
No, they just traded for them. Why would they trade him right away?
If you're trying to trade a point guard, then why not just get a point guard back?
That makes no sense. I would
I'm just-
say get Levine or Beal right now.
Those are the names you keep hearing.
Yeah,
It's probably
Levine's-
not going to happen.
Levine's having a good year, and Bradley Beal's having a crazy year. So I mean, you got to go after one of them if you want to contend with the Nets. Even though the Nets just lost to the Cavs last night in overtime, which was kind
I'm
of
not.
funny.
I've told you that Nets are not going to win this year.
Killed one of my parlays.
Oh, sorry,
Sons of bitches.
sorry. No, I mean if you
The
want to,
Nets went all in for no reason.
Andrew, they're gonna be fine, dude.
No, they won't.
Yeah, they will. If you want to contend with the Nets, you gotta make a move. I don't think this team. I think the team is good enough to compete. I don't know if they're good enough to win.
Who are the Sixers?
Smitty's making a couple solid points. He says if you trade for Beal, I think you would move Shake to the point. Yeah,
Shake's been playing well.
yeah,
Shake it
yeah,
would be
Or
fine.
yeah,
Maxey.
and
Shake would
I
be-
agree with that.
Maxey is not a starting point.
He's
guard.
not a starting point guard
Not
yet.
yet.
And then he also says you don't have to give up Simmons for Levine.
That's what you keep hearing. If you want to get Beal, you got to give up Simmons because Beal's a better player. If you want to give up, if you want to get Levine, you don't have to move
But
Simmons.
will Simmons be happy with Russell Westbrook?
Doesn't matter. He doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's going to be like a ball hog, and then Ben's just going to
He
be
doesn't have a
sitting.
choice. He got traded there, dude.
Yeah, I know, but if never mind.
Yeah, never mind.
So does that lineup work? Levine, Simmons, Toby, Joel,
It
and
should.
whoever else you want to throw in there.
Yeah, I mean, you leave Embiid at the 5, Harris at the 4, Levine at the 3, and then you move Danny Green or Seth to the bench and start
Danny
Shake.
Green.
Probably Danny Green. I would move Danny Green to the bench, and then Seth Curry at the 2 and Shake at the 1,
No, what about
and Maxey Green and Dwight Howard are your first three guys off the bench is fine.
You're going to
But
love
you just
this.
but wait, that wasn't you left Ben out there.
yeah?
Oh shit! Yeah, we still have Ben.
You left Ben out. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
You really think highly of that guy, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
I said, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You're putting Seth and Shake in there. Ben's going to the bench? I didn't have to trade him. I just needed to bench him. I love that.
Nah. Well, I mean, we benched Wentz. Maybe we bench Ben and fixes him. Who knows?
No, it won't.
Probably wouldn't.
Two things. Joe White says name a player on the Nets that can guard Embiid.
Yeah, that's. But the Nets are still a better team.
That James
Yeah,
Harden.
yeah.
But apparently he disappeared.
Yeah.
And then Smitty says, and you're going to love this. What about trading the expiring contracts for Lowry too?
Hate Lowry.
I hate
TOO.
Lowry.
And that's why
I-
say
He's
gonna love
even
it.
he's a local guy. I hate
Toronto
him.
is playing like shit, and you can move expiring contracts for cap space for Toronto. Lowry can play right next to Ben too.
I hate Lowry.
And Drew scored.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe White.
Flyers at 1-0.
Fraud.
Raw Drew.
Oh, you're getting a Bob's hard out
Sorry,
there.
Bob. That's just a joke me and some friends have.
I'm not a big Giroux guy.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a
You're
huge
not
Giroux
one of them,
guy. I mean,
okay.
I like him, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not huge on Giroux. I think his game disappeared as soon as they gave him the captaincy.
Yeah,
and that's
dude.
unfortunate
I mean,
to see.
where's Drew been the last 3 years?
Well, I think he just disappointed in high pressure situations. You don't hear from him, and that's
Oh,
concerning.
I didn't
for a
hear.
captain.
I didn't hear his name at all last year. In the
I mean,
playoffs.
I grew up around the likes of Dave Poole and Rick Tocchet. You know,
Peter
those guys.
Zezel.
Yeah, Peter Zezel. You wear the C because you're not the best guy on the team, but you're going to give the best effort and you're going to put the best foot forward, no matter what it is. Especially in the playoffs when you
Yes.
need your captain, Keith Prima,
Who
the Warriors, so to speak.
Who
I would
who
go
did
there.
who do you like more as a captain, Mike Richards or Claude?
See? I didn't think Mike Richards was all that great as a captain either.
But I think they get compared a lot as captains.
I mean, the longevity, the Iron Man streak in Giroux, I guess I would go with Giroux. But it's if you were to say, yo, Bob, who? Dave Pullen, Mike Richards, or Claude Giroux? I'm going with Dave Pullen all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, I think they're different type of captains.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mike
Richards
Well,
and
it's a
Giroux.
different era, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Richards and
Giroux.
Drew
Yeah,
are just
Cat-
different type of captains.
Captain doesn't equal best.
No,
It's what Bob said.
Leadership.
Yeah, it's leadership. It's leading by example. It's playing above yourself sometimes. Your capabilities. That's what a real captain
Who do you
does.
think
It's-
should be the captain on this team?
Flyers.
Yeah.
I think it's fine with Giroux.
Yeah,
You can't take it
yeah.
away from him now.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, if-
after
if
retiring-
they
They,
didn't
they
have a
took it away
captain-
from Bobby Clark.
Kevin Hayes, probably.
I would say Hayes, Coots.
Coots.
Um,
I just don't.
Provorov.
I think really you just need to get into the core of this team. You need to. You need to get into this core of the team and blow it up more. You got to get rid
you're
of.
ready to
some-
blow up to Flyers?
Not like
You
the
gotta
young
get-
core. I mean the older core that's been there
Yeah,
for a while.
Like
you still gotta
talking?
get 'em
You
out.
talking like Voracek?
Voracek gone,
Coots?
clean house. Coots.
he had a great season last
Like,
year,
when you
but
think- when you-
I'd be ready.
Yeah, but
I'd
when
be
you
all
think
right
about
moving
the
on from him.
Flyers, what old guys are really there? Voracek, Giroux, Coots.
Claude.
I said, yeah, Giroux.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it, really. When
Yeah.
you think about it,
Yeah,
Who you have
Ghost.
on defense? Ghost is better.
I can't. I would get rid of Ghosts for
Yes, dude.
something back.
Yeah, and I don't even know it's old by age. It's just old like they've been on this team.
yeah,
And
but
they
they're
need
not
it.
like
Yeah.
old.
Yeah,
When you think about with this roster, it's very young.
Well, now they are, yeah. But I really would. I for some reason I think that especially Giroux. I mean, I understand that the reporters can ask actually all the time. You hear reporters asking dumb questions and
Yeah.
writing dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And what he said to that reporter, so it was
I
probably
take offense
warranted.
to that.
Yeah. Well, like I guess it was warranted what he said. I just
I thought
feel
it
like
was
that
funny.
that's tr- but I think that's it's just comparable to what his attitude
Yeah,
is.
that's who Voracek is.
And I think that hurts the team. And there's been things in the past, not just that incident, where I just feel like he's just, I'm here, and that's it.
yeah.
I don't know what goes on behind the closed doors, obviously, but I just think it's time to separate yourself from him, see what you can get for him. But it's hard to make these trades now because this in all four of the major sports, the cap isn't going up. You gotta. I think that they're in a great position with the flexibility they have, and the they have three guys out tonight: Coots, Myers, and
Arabic or Frost.
Frost.
Yeah.
And they bring up guys from the minors. I think Freeman's playing on defense. I just think that their depth is like the best in the league.
Yeah.
So I do. I think that they're in a great spot. Probably the best spot out of any team in the league for the conditions for this type of climate, given the circumstances. Right. So you can't really make a trade for that sniper right now because you're going to have to pay him.
How much is Voracek's getting? A lot, right? Isn't he getting like $9 million?
Oh yeah, 8.28.
8.28.
8.28. I mean, I can look it up right now, but I I think that they are there. I think that they're like 1 or 2 trades away because not only do they need a sniper, but they need a top 4 defenseman, possibly a top 2.
Their defense is bad. That's definitely gotten exposed.
I don't think it's horrible. I think they just need that one guy that can contribute and play down low.
they turn it over a lot
Play-
though in the zone.
Well, the thing is, if you make those trades,
You can't.
you're
it's
going to
insane.
weaken yourself somewhere else.
Well, I
right?
think you're going to run into a problem sooner or later because you're only allowed a maximum of 50 contracts, and you haven't really traded any of your picks away. So when you think about it, the last 2 or 3 years and beyond that, you've been stockpiling picks, and you're eventually going to need to figure out, which of the prospects have it, which of the prospects maybe you're not interested in because they don't fit, and trade them away to get something like that. Top 4 defenseman or that sniper. I think sooner or later, if you look at all great teams, they all make that one trade, and I think that trade has to be for a sniper or a top 4 defenseman. That's when I look at this team, I think that they're 1 or 2 moves away.
Yeah, I would agree.
Give it
Yeah.
2 years.
I think they're still
2 years out from being a contender.
Yeah, because I think they're still too inexperienced and too young. But they're right there. I mean, we saw it last year.
All right.
You had enough hockey talk? Is that what you're telling me, Andrew?
No. I'm just,
Well, Alexander Barkov's only 25, and I brought this up on another podcast too that I engineer for too. Is
You'd say the name, give them a plug.
oh yeah, Devereaux Sports.
Yeah, we
All
like
right.
the guys at Devereaux.
All
All
right.
right, plug.
They're all right, No, I'm just kidding. No, I love the guys at Devereaux. But Alexander Barkov is there. He could be possibly there. That could be your sniper. But would you be willing to give Nolan Patrick straight up for him and maybe like a pick?
Have you seen enough of Patrick to make a decision on whether he's going to be,
No.
an important?
Is he going to
Factor.
I don't think
You
he's gonna,
haven't.
I don't think he's going to be the star that they hoped he would be.
So then you trade him.
Yeah.
But have you seen enough to make that determination?
No.
I
Not
don't
this
think
year.
you
Not
have.
this year. Not this year.
Now Friedman just got hurt.
Wasn't it his first game tonight?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I hope it's not going to be like this for the whole season.
Yeah.
But
The injury
I
bug.
just I'm looking.
Yeah,
up
we don't
that-
need them to turn into the Eagles,
No, I
getting players hurt all the
I
time.
think the Flyers for now are fine. I honestly think they're not. I don't think they're good enough to win, like Bob was saying. But to give these guys the experience and the playoff experience is great for them.
I just think people are getting. They had a nice run last year, and before the coronavirus hit, it took a pandemic to stop them.
Yeah, yeah.
so
you're right,
you can't.
yeah.
I mean, you can't. But when you look at, I always tell people all the time. You're saying that if someone says, "Hey, look, this team's ready," like they're a contender, that means you're telling me that they're elite. That means you're telling me they're as good as or better than Tampa Bay. Are they?
no, they're
No,
not. They're not as good
close.
as
Not
they're
right
not.
now.
They're not as good as Tampa Bay.
Right.
Tampa Bay is unbelievable.
They're 2 or 3 years out.
Yeah, yeah. I would agree. They're still out. They're still not there yet, but they're in the right spot.
Man, you
Now-
guys really made my night. Letting me
Now-
talk hockey.
Here, I got a question for you. Joe
Fritz
White,
isn't listening. Like Fritz, he wants to be our hockey guy.
Yeah.
Joe White says that he thinks they finally have a goalie. Do you think they finally have a goalie?
I do. I like I said, I think they need to add to the defense to complement what he's
Yeah.
what I've seen from him so far. And if they can get that, because even the greatest goaltenders in the history of the NHL had good defenses in
Yes,
front of them,
yeah.
and not necessarily all scorers. I think that you have something in Hart, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I also think you need to add to what's in front of them,
Yeah.
so they
Yeah.
can, so he can build on what
Yeah,
he's
but
shown.
You need it. You need it. He's still young.
Mm-hmm.
You need a defense that can clean up his mistakes when he makes them.
Look at Lundqvist. How many
Yeah.
years did the Rangers lead the league in block shots
Mm-hmm.
because of their great defense?
Right. The one thing I like about Hart is his mind seems right.
Mhm.
When
Yeah.
you look at Breeze Galov, for example, he was just out there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he
But sometimes you need that as well as a goalie.
Yeah,
Like,
you
goalie
need-
is a special place on
They're,
the hockey
al-
team.
they're
Exactly.
always a little goofy.
Look at
Right.
Bernie.
But you
Yeah.
you also
That
need to
dude
be
was a
able, like he
goof.
gave the puck over to Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you
that
do
was
that, it's gonna be a
stupid.
goal.
That
was
But
stupid.
he comes back and he puts on the performance
And-
that he did.
And that's what I'm saying. You need especially with a young guy, you need a defense that can clean up his mistakes. So, and that exactly what you're talking about. He makes the mistake by giving the puck up the cross. Now it was Crosby.
That was
You
as much as I
yeah,
hate Crosby.
yeah.
That was a nice play by
That
Crosby.
was.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was good hand-eye
Yeah,
coordination.
absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
But if you have good defenders in front of them, maybe a veteran or two defender in front of them
Mhm.
in better position, whatever it was, they don't allow him to score on that mistake by Carter Hart.
Absolutely. And
So-
you see what he's shown you with the defense he has, which I don't think it's a horrible defense.
No, it's not horrible.
It's a young defense.
Right.
right,
It's inexperienced.
right.
And
right.
I think
and maybe they grow together if they keep
Absolutely.
them all together.
Yes.
And like you said, 2, 3, maybe 4 years down the road, they're at the elite level
Yes.
where they're, contending
I-
every year.
I think we do have the best backup in the league. I think Brian Elliott
Hurts. Oh, Moose. You're talking about
yeah, I'm
Moose?
talking about Moose. Brian
Man,
Elliott.
he wants to move on from hockey already.
Damn.
No,
I-
baseball's his weak spot.
Ah.
I think Brian Elliott's
I get gushy for baseball.
is the is the best
The blood
backup
rushes.
in this league.
Feel it already.
It's coming. It's pitchers and catchers in what, a month?
Pitching something.
Catching something.
No. I catch it. I'm a pitcher.
Come on, man. Did kids listen to this?
Are we done hockey?
I don't know.
I mean, we just started talking about baseball. I have a couple baseball points here if we want to talk baseball.
Our guys on that are
just
watching
scored.
all think that they need a sniper.
Flyers
Say
just
Giroux?
scored.
Priority.
Did you say
Flyers.
Giroux just scored?
It looks like it, yeah.
2
Again?
goals tonight? Nice. Now he won't show up for another.
Oh, wait.
3.
I'm sorry. That was the first one.
Oh.
Gotcha. What were
So
you
it's only one.
I
nothing
felt it
still.
move again. I felt it move again on that one.
saying? You're saying the sniper has to be.
Yes, they're Joe and Ryan Smitty both think that they need to get the sniper.
I agree. I just don't know. I mean, you can argue line A all you want. I just don't know if right now's the time to get him. And if you wait, someone else could pick him up, or he might not want to be traded anymore. So I just don't know how, because you still need, looking at this cap situation right now, and I have it pulled up. They have, let's see here. So it looks like their projected cap hit for this year anyway is $81 million. Their cap space right now is $16,178. Yeah.
16,000.
Yes.
Not 16 million.
No. 16,000.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You want to buy that Michael Jordan card?
Yes. So but here's another thing that I'm talking about. So you have it looks like you have Scott Lawton, Mike Raffle.
There's some other
Sanheim.
guys that are older guys that just kind of
Yep.
hung around that.
Gustafson, Braun, not well. I mean, oh great, Carter Hart's a restricted free agent after this year, so there's not much coming off the books after this year. You're gonna have to make a trade, but don't forget you have the expansion draft coming up too. I don't expect a big trade, this coming up. But this year, but I mean, you also have the expansion draft, and you're hoping. I would almost give them a 2nd round pick just to take
Take a contract.
right. It would have to be Jake Voracek because he has, well, 3 years left after this year, but that $8.25 million.
So the NHL is expanding again.
Yeah. Seattle.
The Kraken.
Yeah.
How many Kraken? Is that really their name?
Yeah.
How many teams
They're
are in the
actually pretty
NHL
cool
right now?
I like the
logos.
logo,
I
yeah.
like the logos. 30.
Is it 30?
Well, with Seattle, it's 30, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're only at 29. Okay. I don't know. I just feel that if you can comfortably wear shorts in January and February, you shouldn't have an NHL team. It's just my personal opinion.
Hey man, you got one of them teams you're talking about. Is the best in the league.
I know Tampa Bay. I got you. I
So
got
it's
you.
kinda
Do they? What's their? Well, not this year or last year, but prior to COVID, what were their crowds like?
They probably.
I think they got good
sold
hockey.
out.
Because they were
Yeah.
pretty good back then too.
Yeah, they got good hockey
pre-COVID.
down there. Yeah.
Steve Yzerman did a pretty good job at that with that before he's in Detroit now. That's what she said. Yeah.
Yeah, Phil my Kraken.
Joe, but
See what Ryan
yeah.
Smitty said ahead of that.
yeah, Phil my Kraken. Yeah.
Smitty
Maybe I
actually.
shouldn't read that. I just
That's all right. We're past
Nah,
nine. What
yeah.
time is it? No, we're not.
Yeah, we're past the prime time. The kids are all in bed now.
Smitty actually took my points for the baseball talk with JT and Deke. We were told 3 weeks ago that JT was going to be here. It still hasn't happened. Now you're hearing.
And
now
who were
you're
we
hearing-
told by? With
AB.
reliable sources.
AB, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And he told us on a Monday that it was going to be done by Wednesday.
Maybe
Is that
that's
what
why
it
he's
was?
not showing up.
Maybe.
He's
Yeah.
But there are rumors that the Braves are sniffing around now. I think that's the agents just floating that out because really there can't be there's no market for JT right now.
The Braves don't really make sense because they have an all-star catcher with Darnod. Darnod, I think his name is.
Who's the team that just jumped into the mix with JT?
The Braves.
Is it the Braves?
That's the Braves.
what- that's what
That was
the
the
ide-
report today.
The identified team was the Braves, but then
Okay.
there's like anonymous teams as well.
Well, Toronto's out of it now, right? Because they just signed
spent
Springer.
Bunch on Springer. The Astros just brought back Michael Brantley. Yeah. So I don't see how there's a lot of other teams. The Padres don't really make a lot of sense because they have a ton of money now with that pitching staff, and I think the Phillies are the only team left, to be honest.
But you're not really hearing anything about Deke.
No, and that's a little surprising because he had a decent year.
Yeah, I bring him back.
Not
He's
only
a
that,
solid shortstop.
but around
Yeah.
the league, nobody's really reached out. Is it because he's older? I guess.
I really think that the intake for the revenue this year really is.
Yeah.
Some teams are still willing to spend,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
teams that are pinching pennies like the Phillies for some god unknown reason, they're not willing to spend. So
Oh, yeah.
it's hurting the free agents, and that's JT's agent definitely overplayed his hand.
Yeah.
He's
When they came out with that 150 report that he wanted nothing less than 150, that hurt them.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because there's no money to spend, especially on a catcher. You really don't want to spend too much on a catcher because you don't know how
but
long.
he's a really
He's the
he's
best in the
exceptional.
league.
Yeah.
He's the best catcher in the league, but you don't know
Yeah.
how long it'll last.
I personally would have went. I think he's dumb for not signing this because I don't think he's going to get 5 years
He won't
anywhere
get
else.
he won't get the insurance that he's hoping for. He wants that long-term contract with the money into it, but I don't think he's going to get anywhere what he was expecting or hoping.
Yeah, I think if he's looking for security, if he's looking for that long term,
You stay here.
I think he's staying. I think you take that contract.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's waiting for.
Well,
Honestly,
is it him or the Phillies?
Well, yeah, I guess it's
because we know
it's
the
both
Phillies
sides.
are, a little cheapskates.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're making their effort. If that's not good enough, then counter it. Just don't be crazy about it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, what was the report? 5 years, 9 figures, or 10 figures?
110 million or 100.
Yeah, they
something
said
like
they
that.
gave out like the figures. They didn't say
yeah.
the
It was
exact
5 at 109, 110 for
guess,
JT.
Something
yeah.
like that.
Smitty thinks he can get 6 years at 23 mil.
No way. I do 6 years.
I would have do. I think my limit
5 is the limit.
is 5. Yeah, just because it's a catcher and the position, you never know. I mean,
He's been healthy his whole career.
yes, he's never had injuries, but
Joe White, you should go to spring training. I hear Florida's handling the whole COVID thing fantastically.
What's that? I'm sorry. What did you say?
Joe White asked if you should go to spring training this year, and I said yes. Florida's doing a bang up job apparently.
They are. They are.
the Super Bowl is going to be there.
Miami,
Hey,
right?
man, what's
Tampa
wrong?
Bay.
With,
Tampa. Yeah.
they're open for business. That's for sure.
That would be interesting if I forgot it's in Tampa and the Bucks are in the championship.
Yeah.
It's in Tampa or Miami?
It's in Tampa. Miami's last year.
All right.
You sure about that?
I'm positive.
You
It
think
was-
Brady beats Rodgers? Should we get into the next topic?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Wait, let's stick on baseball. There's one off topic in baseball.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
right.
I forgot.
So Mets new now former GM was fired for sending was it 62 texts
62 unanswered texts,
to a
Hey,
female reporter,
including multiple.
multiple pictures of certain body parts, right?
Yeah. you can go into the anatomy of it. I don't know if you want to.
That's where the blood gushes, right?
Right,
Or
right.
rushes too.
Yes.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want.
Engorged.
I don't want gushing blood out of that.
Good, great point there, DJ. Yes, it is in Tampa this year.
So yeah, I think it was just you wanted to touch on it.
I didn't want to touch it. I just wanted to.
On it.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow, no one said touching anything.
This was your topic, DJ.
No, I just sent it in the group chat just to be
Good
like,
point there, James.
just to be like, oh, we can mention it, like how funny it is. Well, maybe not funny to some people, but
It's hilarious.
I'm sure half of the population, at least,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah.
Anybody that paid attention.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's so stupid. Like, how
Yeah.
dumb can you be in a position that you're in to do that?
Didn't he learn his lesson from Brett Favre?
There's been plenty of
There's-
other
there's
examples.
plenty of
Well, I mean,
lessons.
Brett Favre is.
Yeah, but he went overboard. He like, what's the limit to texting a girl when she doesn't answer? Where you're like, all right, I get the hint.
Two.
Like they matched GM. He did it 62 times.
And I want to know, was it like you ever see the movie Swingers?
Oh, absolutely.
Like
You're
was it
so freaking
62
money,
times in
baby.
one night where he's like, hey,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Mike.
Yeah.
He just keeps calling back the answering machine and leaving
Yup,
a message.
yup.
So did he text her 62 times in one night?
I would say it was over
No,
the course.
was
no,
it
it was
over
over the
the-
course of
How long?
weeks.
Weeks. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't really read the report. I just kind of read headlines and tweets of it. But like, how did they meet and all?
Actually, they met in an elevator.
Okay,
I
and
saw
she's
that.
a foreign female reporter,
Yes. Yes.
not even like a reporter
they
for the team.
they were at some sporting event together, and they happened to ride an elevator together
Oh my gosh, dude!
at that sporting event.
and
he struck up a conversation with
and
And he was not nobody at the time, but this was what 3 years ago,
her.
something like
This-
that.
Yep.
So he wasn't really like a big wig. So I don't know if that
Yeah,
plays into
he-
him thinking I could do this and it's not going to really cost me anything, or
Right.
yeah,
right? Like yeah,
Nobody-
I'll roll the
nobody's
dice here.
Nobody's going to notice. I'm just
Yeah.
a schmo.
Yeah,
and have you seen pictures of the guy? Like he's not some Brad Pitt. Like the dude's not handsome at all. Like, he's not a good looking.
well, that's why it might take 62 texts.
Yeah, I mean, that's, yeah.
please, please,
Yeah.
pretty please.
Maybe at number 69 would have worked for her, but
Oh my gosh.
I thought I was going to get there, but
But
Well, I mean, I just want to know when that dude would have. He obviously can't take a hint to like when
No.
to stop.
5
Yeah.
texts, she doesn't answer. I think you would get the message.
After like a day or 2 days, it'd be like, all right, I get it. Like,
I get it. I'm out.
Yeah.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah.
JVR scored.
Nice. Well, some guys get the hint, some don't.
Obviously, that guy doesn't.
And to send it multiple pictures of.
Was it multiple?
That's what I saw. Yeah.
Well, maybe hit different lighting. You know,
That's
maybe yeah,
true,
you
that's
know.
True.
Sometimes you make a better presentation.
Yes, that's true. Old Photoshop too.
He was trying to get a shadow shot to make it look really
you
big.
could use Photoshop too if you need, if they wanted to.
Oh, man. All right. Can we
Uh,
stop with this conversation?
You get uncomfortable.
No.
You're sitting at the big kids table here.
Yeah. Bob's sitting back there munching away, whatever, saying, "Oh my
He's out.
god!"
I'm watching the Flyers game. I still haven't seen JVR score.
Ah,
You're on a delay there.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
serious delay.
I figured I'd tune in and let you guys know when they scored, but since I'm on like a half-hour delay,
You got that nice TV over there we set up for you a couple
I
weeks
know.
ago.
I know. But but that's streaming too, so it would be
Yeah.
behind.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
All right. Last topic.
We'll have to talk to Steve
um,
Lybrand if you're listening. We need cable in here.
Yeah. Ah, then their
Wait,
costs
that-
go.
yeah, that might up our show cost.
Yeah.
I'll
never
leave
mind.
beer. The barter system.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Score! 2-0. JVR scored,
A
guys.
minute and a half after it was announced.
That was a long time.
I know.
All right. Final topic for the evening, unless you gentlemen have something else to add. NFL playoffs.
Well, actually, Deke needs to give us his his free agents.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I saw something tweeted today. I forget who it was from. That if Malcolm Jenkins and Patrick Robinson get cut from the Saints, who have major cap issues next year, is it worth to sign that one or both of them here, as long as it works for the cap?
I don't see why not. Both guys in
Are they any worse than what we have right now?
No, because Mills is probably gone, right?
Max, he's
think-
garbage.
I don't think you bring Mills back.
I think he's cheap.
I would say Maddox. Well, Jenkins is your safety, so McLeod, and Jenkins are back. Unless they move Mills back to corner, which I don't see happening, and then Patrick Robinson in the slot because Roby Coleman stinks. I don't see why you don't want to. You wouldn't do that.
You know what I see happening?
I'm bringing it back to reality. Malcolm's not coming back.
No,
This
yeah,
season.
No, I
and
don't
after
think
that
so
all
it's a
went
long.
down.
It's a pipe.
You know where
dream.
he's
Yeah.
gonna go?
He's going to retire.
If
He's-
Mal-
No, he's not.
if
No.
You don't
Jenkins,
He's not going to retire.
if Jenkins
Why not?
gets cut, I wouldn't disagree.
He's going to the Cowboys, man.
Oh,
No,
What?
no.
Jenkins?
I think so.
hot take.
Honestly, I think after the last couple seasons, I could see Malcolm just retiring, hooking up with Anquan Bolden, and doing like the community stuff that he's been really a big fan of doing, and dedicating more time to it. Look, the guy's got 2 Super Bowls.
Got 2 rings.
He had a very nice career.
Is he? Is
Well,
a
he
Hall
could
of
still
Famer?
move. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
he hasn't any major
Still has his
injuries.
wits about him.
Yeah,
Is he a Hall of Famer?
Nah, I don't think so.
Um,
I'd have to look at the
No.
numbers, but I don't
He-
think. I don't. He's been a
he-
good safety every year.
Yeah,
For a
He's been
majority of his
solid.
career.
he's been a solid, very good safety. I don't think he's been a great
Yeah.
/ Hall of Fame type of receiver safety.
Right.
He might be in the conversation, but I don't think he gets there. He'll get votes, but I don't think he gets there in the end.
and Patrick Robinson does nothing for me.
He's
I
better
know
than
he's probably
Roby
better than
Coleman.
what we have now,
Yeah.
but meh.
Hey,
Been there, done that.
If it
I
ain't
don't
for
need
that-
him
if
back.
If
the
it ain't for that pick
anniversary-
6,
Anniversary of that.
I
pick
know,
against
I know what he
Minnesota,
did. I know what he
that
did.
game might have turned out differently. That pick 6 rocked the house.
It did. That was my end zone too.
It was right. He came towards us as he came across the field. That was wow. That
Yeah.
was special. So I mean, that was his moment in the spotlight. Yeah,
Yeah. So do you want him coming back here and getting burned down the field every other play, and that's what all you
Robinson-
remember of him?
No, stop. Robinson was a good corner that year.
No, I'm saying this season. You want him to
This
come
year.
back here next year? Like
If he's better than Roby Coleman, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I liked Robinson.
there you go. Schmitty says Malcolm's going to sign with the Giants because he's from Jersey, so he can stick it to the Eagles a few more times.
Well, nothing would surprise me with what he does if he does
Yeah.
get caught.
See, I think Mills might come back because he's cheap
Nah,
and
they already
he's
said he
a
wasn't
little
coming
more
back.
versatile.
I thought they already said he wasn't coming back.
I don't know.
Or there was reports.
What's he gonna dye his hair color then?
Whatever team he's on,
Go to Steelers, yellow goblin,
yeah, it'll be gold.
gold
Gold
goblin.
Goblin.
Gold
I
Goblin.
was gonna
Steelers
say
just
something,
signed
then I was like,
Dwayne
nah.
Haskins. See that?
Yes, I did see that. Is that the Big Ben replacement?
Yeah, they said that's even more of a clown team. now.
Diet Burgundy go to the Washington football team and call him the Washington Wacko for all I care.
They do like taking our corners and our defensive backs, Darby
Yep.
Yeah.
and all.
Yeah, send them to the Patriots.
All right. Predictions.
Predictions. Come on,
Oh,
Mister.
man.
Come on, Mr. Browns.
Yeah, I lost money because of you last.
Wow.
My fault.
Nah,
And-
you're fine.
The worst thing that could have happened is if they could have won that game last week after Mahomes got hurt, because then they would have really thought that they were a good team and had a chance to win something.
Stop.
Dude,
Dude, they were right
good
there.
team. They're a good team.
They were right there.
They might have
They
the-
were good.
They
might
were
have the
right
best-
there when Mahomes got injured. And
They
didn't
might have
play
the best
rest.
O line in
No.
football.
No.
What did you just say?
They might have the best O line in football.
Yes, but
They were in that game. They were on the verge of being blown out. It didn't happen
because
They-
Mahomes got hurt.
No,
Because of that
before he
stupid-
got hurt.
That stupid
AD.
the fumble call.
Before
That-
before he
that
got
rule
hurt,
needs
they
to
were
be
creeping
changed.
back into the game, and they were right there.
That rule needs to be changed too. That fumble.
You guys with the
You're-
Browns are like Lurie with the Patriots.
I'm not
I
saying.
mean,
they're
this
gonna
table
win
is
the
starting
next-
to come off the. I can feel it over there with the three of you.
I
They're
thought
not
the
going
Browns
to win
are
the
for
next
real.
5 Super Bowls, but they're in the mix. Like
Baker's
I
led
said,
to a Super Bowl in the next 5 years.
No.
not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. Dude.
Aaron Rodgers ain't leading the Packers. They won this year.
I'd be fine with that. I don't like any of the teams that are left.
What?
Honestly, the
Buffalo?
Bills. Right.
Buffalo.
If I got to
Buffalo?
root for a team, I'm rooting for the
Yeah,
Bills.
let's go
I'm rooting for the
Buffalo.
Bills. All right, so we'll start
So-
there.
Well,
Bills KC. I know that Deke wants KC because of his Andy Reid love. He wants to see Andy get another one
There's a-
back to back.
some-
and Smitty just said that the Bills upset the Chiefs. Is it an upset if Mahomes
Yes.
doesn't? Is Mahomes
It
playing?
sounds like he's going to play.
Okay.
It sounds like he's
Yeah,
going to
he'll
play.
But if he's not playing, is it an upset?
Yes.
If he's not playing, no.
I don't think
I
it is
still
either.
think it is.
Chad Henne starting the whole game.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, come on, look at
Baker Mayfield.
nah,
He couldn't beat Chad Henne.
Nah. Who's the football team's quarterback that they had?
Alex Smith or
No, the other
Henneke.
one. The other one.
Henneke.
Yeah.
The kid that came in. No, the kid
Oh,
that plays.
Heineke.
Heineke, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Heineke.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at him. He almost won the game for them.
Because he had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
And neither does this dude.
Yeah.
You just give it to Tyreek Hill, they might win the game.
If Mahomes plays, then I think the Chiefs win. If Mahomes doesn't play,
If Mahomes plays, it's gonna be.
Let's get to the predictions.
it's not going to be a blowout.
Today, Junior.
Come on.
It's all right. I'm gonna
If Mahomes
I'll go
plays,
Chiefs because I
It's
think,
still gonna be a
as you guys
shootout.
said, Mahomes looks like he's going to play.
If the Mahomes still plays, it's still gonna be a shootout.
Yeah, I think it's a shootout too.
It's gonna come down who's gonna get the stop.
Shootout is a prediction. I need a team.
If Mahomes plays, Chiefs. If Mahomes doesn't play, Bills.
All right, dude. Nah, you got to deal with one or the other.
But all right, I'll go Chiefs. But I'm in a playoff pool and I need the Bills to cover. So as long as that happens,
Yeah, and for the record, yes, I am rooting hard for the Bills.
But you
Why'd you pick the Chiefs?
but you pick the Chiefs.
Why'd you pick the Chiefs?
Well, I'll be because I got no money in the game. I don't care. Bet with your
All
head, not with your heart.
I
With your ass.
We're gonna check your ass can't cash. You taking the Chiefs?
Nah, the Bills.
Taking the Bills.
of course
Hmm.
he is.
Where you going, Bob?
I'm going Bills.
Wow.
Wow.
I could see
So
Bills.
you
winning.
said Bills. You said
I'm
Bills.
the tiebreaker.
Nah, you
Yeah.
know what? I'm switching that. I'm going Chiefs.
Ah, come on, Bob. Stick to your
Nah,
guns.
here's why, man. I mean, look, I would take the Bills, but they don't have a run game,
That's true.
Yeah.
and
What?
and that's gonna hurt them. That's gonna kill them.
It's just
They got a
it-
decent running back.
It's just Allen and
Nah.
Diggs.
Yeah, but
It's
they
just
don't. It's
Allen
just,
and
yeah,
Diggs.
that's all it is. And that's what hurts it because you need to be able to control the time to
Gotta
keep
keep
that
Mahomes
offense
on
off
the
the
field.
field.
Oh, I'm with you
Kansas
there,
City.
but I think they do have a decent running game.
All right, you know what? I'm going with my first thought.
Ah, come on, I'm not crossing it out again.
All right, I'll go Bills. I'll go Bills.
There you
I'll
go.
go Bills. There
All
it is.
right,
I'll go
Jim.
Bills.
I love the Bills, but I'm taking the Chiefs.
Oh,
Mahomes playing, the Bills running game is
It's-
subpar. It's
No,
subpar.
it's
like,
not. I think they
Yeah,
have a
they
decent
lost.
running back.
It's not great. It's like by committee.
yeah, and the Chiefs don't have a great running game right now
No.
either.
They
But
don't even-
they
is Clyde-
have
is
enough.
Clyde
I
playing?
think the
I
only
don't even know if
reason
he's
why the
playing.
Bills win is the Andy Reid's
Wow.
load management clock, like managed time.
Joe White says Allen and Diggs are going to light it up.
They're going to have to have a chance.
Yeah.
Smitty's all in with Joe White. Smitty also says the Bills D is better than the Chiefs.
I agree with that.
Yes.
They have no run defense.
J
So.
Dub doesn't know what he's talking about, saying that the Bills have no running game.
He's not totally incorrect there.
Ah, come-
Singletary, they lost Moss.
Yeah.
Moss was their
Yeah.
all-around back that could
Right.
catch out of the backfield.
Right.
Singletary, he had an okay game last week. They're a throwing team,
They are.
and so are
They
the
are.
Chiefs. Bills have the
Think
better
so?
defense,
The
but
fourth inches, and they throw a little swing pass, whatever the hell that was, to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
worked.
That's what I'm saying. They both love the
you picked the Bills.
yeah.
Okay, all right, makes complete sense. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right,
Let's get weird.
let's go to the NFC.
Uh,
I'll go first. We know my boy Aaron's going back to the Super Bowl,
your boy.
so
Don't be
I'll take
jumping on that.
I'll
wagon
take
there.
Green
Yeah.
Bay.
Oh,
I agree. I think the Packers roll. I think they win by 13.
Tom's a better overall quarterback.
Maybe not by 13, but they win by 10.
No.
Oh, Oh, Santa just slid down the pole.
That was really weird.
Sure, he's getting out of hand.
Right?
Yeah.
It must be the late hours of the show.
Yeah.
Santa's had a little too much pop.
Santa
He's
boot
been
first.
standing next to the pops way too
Santa
long.
boot first
After
after
dark.
hours. After dark.
Santa's working a skank shift.
Santa after dark.
Yep, that's what it's getting into.
All right, I need predictions still. I got. Where you going, Deke?
Oh, I'm going Green Bay.
Green Bay.
I can't stand Brady, and I hope he loses.
That's not what
Bad.
the prediction.
I know. No. I think no. In if talking football strictly, I think Green Bay is going to win.
Tampa Bay.
Damn right I am going with Tampa Bay.
The Jags could be playing in the AFC Championship game, and he'll pick the Jags.
Yep.
I'm on an
Against-
upset. I don't want to see the best teams go to the Super Bowl.
Then you get the best football, though.
I don't care.
Hey, all right.
He only watches for the commercials.
I know.
Right.
I know.
Who you got, Bob?
I'm with Deke, man. I hate Tom Brady. Hate him.
So do I, but
I'm going Green Bay.
Clean sweep.
Is that
Green
is
Bay.
that your
Yeah.
heart or your head?
I think it's both. I just don't. I don't want to see Tom Brady win because I don't want to see him win with another team.
Right.
And I kind of want to see a Bills Green Bay.
Yeah. If Tom Brady wins with another team, that just
That's like sticking
it
the
cements
dagger.
everything.
Yeah.
And as long as he doesn't win him with another team, we can always say he was a cheater.
Yeah.
You know, with New England. And what?
Oh.
What?
No, I think it's just funny.
I mean, I'll give him his props. He's the best of all time. I will give him that.
Is he the boat or the goat?
He's boat. Oh,
Best of
yeah,
all
he's the
time?
best of all time.
Or no, so he's not the greatest. There's a
Um,
difference.
What is the difference?
Well, one's best and one's great.
Merriam-Webster.
One's best and one's great.
Aaron Rodgers. the
Whatever.
GOAT.
Would you rather be the best or would you rather be the greatest?
Are we
I can
saying
be the best
boat
of all
or
time.
boat?
And the greatest of all
It's
time.
all a boat.
Tom
Boat or
is
goat?
Did
the
this song
GOAT.
say I can be the best?
Tom is the
could
GOAT.
be
No
the
question.
greatest.
This
Yeah. Like, would you rather be the best or would you rather be the greatest?
the greatest.
The greatest.
Whatever.
You can be the greatest.
So-
You're
still the
you're
same thing.
splitting hairs.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yes, thank you. And as long as he's strictly with New England, we can always say he was a cheater.
All right,
Like
dude.
like Aaron Rodgers is a better talented quarterback than Tom Brady.
I
think
agree.
so. I think-
I
No.
but
agree.
he's not
I agree.
greater. But
He's-
he's not greater
He's-
than Tom Brady.
He's got a skill set
So that
at
makes
the
Aaron
quarterback
Rodgers is a
position
little overrated.
that's better than Tom Brady. But as a quarter,
Did you hear that?
No,
I heard that.
Aaron Rodgers is a little overrated.
no, he's not.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I like where Bob's coming from with this. Yep. You're on
I
to
think he's
something
a
there,
little
Bob.
overrated.
Bob
I have a
Bob's
guy in my
had-
fantasy
you were
team.
on to
got
something there.
too much pops and too many beers out there.
Hey, look, I there's a guy he picks Aaron Rodgers religiously every year since I started my fantasy football league, right? Loves Aaron Rodgers. And he's like, well, that's why I won the championship, this and that. I'm like, well, having Alvin Kamara 3 out of the 4 years doesn't hurt either, you know? But he's like adamant about it. I'm like, the guy's overrated. He's not.
Wow.
It's
See
just-
this?
I don't.
Wow.
I don't
See
I
this?
think he's overrated. Does that mean he's
You-
not? I'm
you-
not saying
you-
he's not good.
No, hey,
You
hey,
and- I
hey.
think
I'm
he's
loving
a
it.
good
Keep
quarterback,
going. Keep
man.
going. I'm
Him
loving
and
it.
Jimmy can hang out in the office
I'm
next
loving it.
week.
The guy cries about not having weapons, and I would have won more Super
Not having
Bowls. and
weapons.
when he first
Jordy
started,
Nelson,
and he didn't win.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae
He's-
Adams
He
making
didn't win
him
when
look-
he had
He's
the
had
weapons.
solid running backs. He's had solid.
Eddie
uh,
Lacy.
How many
ends.
Super Bowls does he have?
One.
One.
Eddie Lacy.
Nick Foles has a Super Bowl, doesn't he?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Trent Dilfer have a
Why'd
Super
you
Bowl,
jump on this?
right? Isn't Trent Dilfer have a Super Bowl too?
I don't know.
Yes.
Look, he's not a schlub, but he's definitely overrated.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I don't
Who's more overrated,
see where
Baker?
his numbers are close to Rivers. Where's he at on the list?
Who's more overrated, Baker or Aaron?
Baker, definitely. Baker is definitely way overrated.
There's no
Aaron's at least one.
Did you really just say he's? I don't want to say borderline Hall of Fame, but need to talk about Hall of
I,
Fame.
I said
for
if
Aaron
we
Rodgers?
talked about Rivers, the only thing Rodgers has over Rivers right now is a championship, right?
Yeah,
And some
I wanna
Pro-
see
and-
Rodgers-
Nah, he got MVP also, at
and
least
Pro
one.
Bowls, right? And a Pro Bowl.
Well, then Eli
Rodgers
Manning
has got
doesn't make
Pro
it.
Yeah.
Say again.
Eli Manning doesn't make it.
Oh, I'm with you. The only
Yeah,
reason why
that-
Eli's
Makes it
going,
either.
the only reason, there are two reasons why he's going, because he won 2 Super Bowls.
And the name.
And the name on the back, yeah.
The paint is paint.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Eli should go at all.
The paint is paint
And he played in North. I won't say New York. He played in North Jersey.
is Peyton going into the Hall of Fame?
Oh, Peyton
Peyton,
deserves
yes.
it all the way.
Yeah.
Big Ben.
No.
What?
Got just as many
No, come on, dude.
rings
Big
as
yes.
Eli.
And more numbers.
As I said, I need to see Rodgers' numbers because if we're saying that Rivers isn't getting in or not first ballot, let's see how close Aaron is to these numbers. Aaron hasn't played the
But
games.
Rodgers has MVPs,
Okay.
I think. At least one, if not 2. And he's got a ring.
You know who's a better Rodgers?
Mr. Rodgers.
No. Let's play the person that plays for the Eagles, Dick Rod.
Dick Rod.
Come on, man. Rodgers is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's got, you're going to say he's got at least 50,000 yards, right? He's got to have at
He's
least
probably close. If he
50,000
doesn't have it,
yards.
he's close to it, right? He
Yeah.
missed one or 2 seasons.
I don't know. He's got to have 350, 400 touchdowns.
Our stats man over there is too busy
He's too busy belching.
burping
Yeah.
to be looking it up
Wait, what do you want to know?
All-time numbers for.
Yeah, for Aaron
Rodgers.
Rodgers.
for Captain Overrated.
There you go. My man Ryan Murphy, all the way from Albany, New York. Another kid back in the day I used to coach. Yo, nothing but love, of course, but yo, Rodgers is far from overrated. This dude is magical with the ball. Walks straight into Canton.
Is he magical or is he just lucky as shit
He's
and
not
throws the
lucky
ball
as
up with his
shit,
eyes?
man. He's on target with the ball.
51,000 yards, 412.
Yes, he exactly. He walks straight into Canton.
89
Where's he ranked all
interceptions,
time?
And
Well, I'll
all
tell you
time.
this: he is the first most touchdown passes in the first 193 games, 400. Most
That's gonna get busted by Mahomes. Easy.
most pass yards, 193 games, 50,341. He's 4th all time. And then fewest interceptions in 193 games, he has 88. So and the next guy behind him is Alex Smith at 106
Where's he at for pass touchdowns all time?
pass touchdowns.
I'm just because we had the Rivers conversation. That's where I'm trying to get to.
he has more yards, right, than Rivers.
Rivers is 5th all time in pass yards.
And here you go.
And
Murph says he's got those numbers with 0 first-round wide receivers ever.
Boo-hoo.
He has 412 passing touchdowns.
yeah, he
That doesn't
Yeah.
seem like a lot.
What? 412 passing touchdowns doesn't seem like a lot. Are you kidding me?
All right, it's a lot. Yeah,
Come on, man.
yeah, but let's
Who-
look
who-
at
you know-
let's look at 412. Write that down, and then I'm going to do Rivers.
Rivers got to be over 400.
421.
There you go. I think Brady.
don't even look up Brady's stats.
I think Brady has over 500. He's got to be the only one with 500 plus.
I'll look it up.
581.
Yeah. How many?
5.
Well, how many?
Almost 600,
81?
man.
581. So he's
581.
pushing 6.
Where's
He's going to have
Breeze?
600.
Weren't him and Breeze going back and forth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Breeze is right.
Yeah.
Breeze
Breeze
is done,
ahead of him, I
70?
think.
79,000 passing.
before the league-
4 passing yards.
Before the league became a really crazy passing league, if you were over 250, 300 passing touchdowns, that was an
you were
incredible
elite.
amount of touchdowns.
Yeah.
Eli Manning 366.
Yeah,
I mean
that's nothing to sneeze at, but I mean, if he was somebody other than Eli, maybe it's enough to get him into the Hall of Fame. But I was never really impressed with Eli.
No.
I mean,
It's the championships that are going to
Yes,
and a team that he beat for the championship.
right. And the team that it beat, and the fact that he played up in North Jersey, and the name on the back of the jersey. But I mean, how many times did we see him after a play and the camera's in his face and he's got that deer in the headlights
the
on?
Eli face. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
So do you want to hear the top 10?
For what?
For
Passing touchdowns.
passing touchdowns, yeah.
pass leaders.
Yeah.
Yep. Tom Brady, Drew Brees.
give the numbers too.
Okay, Tom Brady 581, Drew Brees 571, Peyton Manning 539, Brett Favre 508,
Best.
Philip
Green Bay.
Rivers 421, Dan Marino 420, Aaron Rodgers 412, Ben Roethlisberger 396, Eli Manning 366, Matt Ryan 347.
Okay.
Drew
So-
Brees has 80,358 passing yards in his total
Damn.
career.
So I think the only inactive quarterback on that list was Marino, right? Outside the recent retirees.
And then right outside, because Matt Ryan is leading Fran Tarkenton by 5 touchdowns.
No, yeah. Frank,
I mean, but
when-
that's the next guy
Yeah,
around
yeah,
that era.
yeah. And
Yeah.
Marino retired in the 90s. And when
Yeah.
he retired, what was it for? What
Uh,
was his number?
Dan Marino was 420.
420.
Yeah.
I bet you they
Blaze
were
it.
saying what? Oh, shut up.
Blaze it.
I bet you they were saying when he retired that number wouldn't be touched for a really long time. And then the league just exploded with passing.
Passing. Well, look at the rules too.
No,
rules
right.
changes
And the
protect
rules changes.
quarterback.
Absolutely. That contributed to it.
Right.
Yes.
And they protect the wide receiver.
Yep.
And they protect the quarterback too.
Russell Wilson only has 261. I mean, he hasn't really had like a receiver to throw to, really.
Well, yeah.
And they were a running team when he first started.
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Marshall Lynch. Yep.
No,
Yeah,
it is.
they were a I don't want to say he was a maintenance quarterback, but he was kind of sort of a maintenance quarterback and let's win with the defense.
Yeah.
You
Now he has
when he
DK
first came
Metcalf,
in.
Tyler Lockett.
you want to take a shot at who rounds out the top 20 at number 20?
Donovan McNabb.
No. I think he played for the Seahawks and the Chiefs.
Steve Largent.
No.
Steve DeBerg.
He played forever.
Yeah. Played for the
Seahawks and
the
Chiefs.
Wait, no, I might be DeBerg. No, never mind. I'm thinking of DeBerg. It's Dave Craig.
Dave Craig.
Ah, Craig.
Dave Craig.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
You know what?
Did he played for the Chiefs, right?
I think he played for a number of teams.
He did.
Yeah,
And he was
I
the backup, I think, for the Falcons at one point.
He may have. Like I said, he played for a number of teams. He played forever. And the Chiefs were definitely one of the teams he played for.
You know what? 2 quarterbacks have a nice amount of touchdowns. Jay Fielder and Frank Trupucka.
Jay Fielder?
Trapuka.
The old Jay Fielder from the Eagles?
They're
That Jay
not-
Fielder?
No,
What were their numbers?
he played. Oh my God!
What?
I got a table going on.
Their touchdown numbers.
Yeah.
They each had 69.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
sorry.
nice.
I know that we're going to try and close things up here, but I think
Yeah.
that this is interesting. The top 10 in receiving leaders is crazy. Jerry Rice.
Moss.
Yo,
My bad.
come on,
Moss
man.
isn't even in the top 10.
Moss is in the top 10 for
Jerry Rice, Larry Fitzgerald, Tony Gonzalez.
Jerry Rice had 200
These are receptions. Never mind.
receiving touchdowns.
Yeah.
Jerry Rice holds that
Receptions,
record. 200.
receptions. Yeah, receptions.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
My bad. Sorry.
So for touchdowns,
These are
Rice?
for receptions. Rush TDs.
where's Marvin Harrison on that list for touchdown catches?
He's got to be up there. Yeah, definitely. He was number 1 for Peyton for a long time.
Uh-huh.
And Peyton was he over 500 or he's over 450?
Looking that up right now. Hold on. You mean for
Was Peyton in that
Wait,
list?
Peyton Manning
Yeah.
for
yeah.
TDs?
Yeah. TD passes.
Oh yeah, he's in the top 3. He's the third one.
Yeah.
539.
Yeah.
Uh,
So Marvin's got to have
half of them.
easily half of them.
And your next question was receiving
Oh,
yards.
shit.
Tied it up.
Quick update. Joe Tucci
2-2.
says it's 2-2.
God damn it.
All right. Not a good note to go out on, but
No.
should we go out on it?
Jacob Voracek is 5th in Flyers assist all time.
Did he get one tonight? Is it? Did it
Yeah, I
move him up?
guess.
Nice.
It's a good note.
All right, boys. Think it's time to shut her down.
Sure.
Yeah.
DJ wants to blaze one, so.
What?
What?
Didn't you say something about that?
He said 420.
20.
I said blazing.
Yeah.
Do you not know what 420?
Yeah, I know what 420 is.
All right.
He's not.
Jeez.
All right.
And
wrap
on
up the
that
show.
note,
Sure.
what's the new head coach's name?
Nick Sirianni.
Come on, man.
Nick Siri.
Sirianni.
Nick Sirianni.
Alfonso
I
Suriano.
was gonna say Nick Saban, but then I was like, wait.
Get it wrong again. You're gonna go swimming with the fish.
New Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni.
Now I'm gonna call him Siri.
Call him whatever you want.
Just don't call him late for dinner.
Oh,
That's right.
Or don't call him. No, I'm not gonna
We'll
say
go out on that then. All right, folks.
That was
Thanks for checking us
terrible.
out for another episode of the Santa Boot First podcast. Hopefully, we'll catch you next Thursday. And again, the Chiefs and Green Bay will be in the Super Bowl. Browns are
Like I said all
nowhere
along.
near it.
All right.
But we'll catch you next Thursday. Maybe we'll have some more of this coaching staff figured out. I guess Nick has to be officially named and signed first. These are all reports, but all the reports seem to be Nick Sirianni being the next Eagles
head coach.
head coach.
Real, real quick.
Real quick. There's always a real quick.
Lot of people are saying great show. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate that.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We appreciate the interaction with the show. It makes it more fun
Yep.
for us.
Absolutely.
So keep that up. And we will see you next week. Be excellent to each other.
Go Birds.